It's going down, man. It's going down. If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Family, I need you to smash the likes, smash the likes, smash up the likes. Hold on a second. Also, if you have not done so already, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you be in the loop. Family, smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up. Hey, look, this is a very important smash up the likes right here, fam. This is the one. This is just a couple of hours away from New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, depending on where you are in the world. It's already a new year and you're already celebrating, but you get to celebrate with us right now to help us bring in the new year. I'm 2 hours away. If you're in New York, when the clock strikes 11, we're gonna count it down, and then we're gonna count it down when the clock strikes 12 Central Time. It's going down, fam. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. Man, what a year! Woo, man! Good God, the year from hell, man. You know, you expect a certain amount of challenges each year, right? You don't expect everything to be easy. You expect some moderate level of at least of challenges throughout the year. But damn, not only did we all have personal challenges, but we had those extended challenges from people that we may have known from a distance or heard of, and some people that we never heard of until tragedy struck, right? And boy, did tragedy strike in 2020. Good God. Fam, we're going to jump right on into the countdown, man. So that's what we're doing right now. We are counting down the biggest events of 2020. Those events that made us say, damn, get me out of here. Now, these events are in a particular order. And this is the way I saw the events happening, right? Now, I gave out some shout outs earlier for some notable people that had passed on in 2020, famous people. But I also want to give a shout out to my homeboy, salute Anthony Taylor, who passed away. Y'all don't know the name, but a good friend of mine, me and his brother are really, really tight, and me and him were really tight. Died way too soon, died on the operating table, man. Cold-blooded. And also my lawyer sister, man, she passed away on Christmas Day. A lot of tragedy, fam, a lot of tragedy this year. So we're going to jump right into it. Again, fam, if you can, try to stay on point with me where I am at the moment, because, we know that a lot of things happen, and I'm sure people will just be dropping comments, but try to stay, let's try to stay on par with what I'm talking about at the current time. As you know, fam, COVID had to be the biggest thing, period, of the year. So COVID automatically gets a big announcement just because it's COVID. It's a pandemic. What can you do when you have 19.9 million people just in America that has been diagnosed with COVID, and 344,000 dead, right? The World Health Organization announced January 9th that the deadly coronavirus had emerged in Wuhan, China. In a matter of months, the virus has spread across the globe to more than 20 million people, resulting in at least 751,000 deaths. That's 19.9 million cases in the US alone and 344,000 deaths. So COVID came in and wreaked havoc. I mean, came out of nowhere for a lot of us. Some may say some other things were happening, but we didn't see this coming. Not the average person. We did not see this coming at all. COVID came through and shut people up, messed people's job situations up. I mean, took some people all the way out, but messed their job situations up, put people in position where they could not afford to pay their rent, their car note, buy food. You know, some people, could not afford to go to school, even go to work, because people just did not have money. Even for people who had jobs, people couldn't even afford to get to work. A lot of jobs cut back the pay so severely that it was just, every day was just reminiscent of that Good Time song, Scratching and Surviving. COVID-19 pandemic, it pretty much, it was pretty much a reflection of this entire year. You really think about all the things that people were going through with the pandemic, and then you think about all of the tragedies that happened along the way that was independent of the pandemic. Oh man, that's a lot, right? Okay, so let's start this thing off, notwithstanding the COVID-19 pandemic, with Harvey Weinstein, the Harvey Weinstein verdict. The disgraced Hollywood hit kingmaker was convicted February 24th of raping an aspiring actress and sexually abusing a TV and film production assistant. The verdict was celebrated by his dozens of accusers and their supporters as a watershed moment for the Me Too movement. Harvey Weinstein being convicted, a man worth a few $100 million, kind of caught us off guard, right? We wasn't ready for that. A white man, being convicted of sexually assaulting a white, powerful, rich man, being convicted of sexually assaulting women in America. Sexual assaults in America. Like, do we really care about sexual assault victims? I mean, think about it, fam. I mean, it was reported that 90% of rape kits go untested at police departments all across the country. Does that sound like a country that really cares about women? That really cares about victims of sexual assault? In any event, Harvey Weinstein became a victim of Me Too. And he's probably going to die in prison. In fact, it has been said that Harvey is on his deathbed as we speak. This just happened on Christmas Day. The Nashville bombing. The Nashville bombing. So you had a suicide bomber who detonated an RV bomb in downtown Nashville, injuring 8 people and damaging dozens of buildings. It took place adjacent to the AT&T network hub, resulting in days-long communication service outages. Witnesses reported hearing gunshots and loudspeakers on the RV, warning them to evacuate before the explosion, which was felt miles away. The FBI is leading the investigation. It determined that the bomber was 63-year-old Anthony Quinn Warner, a Nashville resident believed to have acted alone. Do they really believe he acted alone? This is what they're saying. they say that he acted alone. Let's unwrap this little package, right? So you got a white dude rolling through downtown Nashville in an RV. This RV, fam, looks like something from the Brady Bunch. It's old as Methuselah. Yet somehow, some way, this van was allowed to be parked overnight in downtown Nashville. This big jaloopa, ugly ass RV was parked overnight in downtown Nashville, and nobody noticed. Nobody, a record didn't come through and say, that's not supposed to be there. We got to take that out. That didn't happen. I don't believe. In fact, let me show you this guy. Hold on, fam. So there he is. There's your Nashville bomber, Anthony Warner. This guy was allowed to drive this big, ugly ass van through downtown Nashville and park it overnight. And look at the stuff. Just look at that. Hideous. And no tow truck came through to move it. Cops didn't find it suspicious, nothing. He was able to leave it parked there in time for his pre-announced speech that was remotely orchestrated from the van, from the inside of the van, over a loudspeaker, announcing that people must evacuate because there is a bomb about to go off. Fam, the question remains, number one, how in the hell did he get that much explosives? They said the whole damn van was pretty much loaded with explosives. How did he get that many explosives? What black man do you know that could get away with something like that? Having that many explosives, having one explosive, let alone enough to decimate a downtown block. They say this bomb, these explosives destroyed over 20 buildings. Injured 3 people, including a police officer. Yet, and they said it fast that he acted alone. I would feel more comfortable if they said that they were still investigating. And we don't know, we can't say. Just like they won't release a name too fast. They'll say we have a person of interest. Just saying that fast, well, we believe. What they should have said, if you want to get some public confidence, like not public comfort, but confidence. Maybe say something like, we're not sure if he acted alone. We don't know. Don't just tell me anything, man, and think it just treat me like a little child, like I can't take the truth. I can handle the truth, unlike some of the people that was in that movie. Moving on. Hey, fam. Now, I know you ain't gonna like this, but the truth don't care who tell it. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, dropped WAP, the WAP video. Hey, fam, it's like this. On August 7th, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion teamed up on a track called WAP. Vulture, and then this is what I can tell you about this song. Vulture called WAP. You know what? Let me say this first. There were people that were for and against the song. The trip part about it is most of the people I heard sounding off on the song were against the song. But somehow the song broke record after record after record. Streaming records, sales records. It's being talked about on many blogs as a record of the year candidate. A number of people are giving this song a lot of praise, despite the fact that there are those that say this song should have never been made, it's filth, and it does nothing to move the culture forward. You guys heard my opinion about this song, you know, being in the game for as long as I've been in the game, some of the early stuff that we did, it could give this song a run for its money, right? So I just felt like, as you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. For me, I think it would be hypocritical for me to say, you know, they should have never done the song or whatever. I feel like this song does not do anything to move the culture forward. Let's get that straight. And yes, this song is going to have negative effects on young children. Absolutely. I get that. But I think that Vulture called it best. Vulture said that WAP is Class A filth. Class A filth. A torrent of horny one-liners that restores the feeling of sneaking and listening to rap songs with X-rated lyrics as a kid, whether you came up blushing at the F Me interlude in the middle of Biggie's Ready to Die, or staying up late to catch Tip Drill during BET Uncut. And that's pretty much it, fam. This song is right in line with some of those other songs that men have made that are more raunchy, that are just as raunchy or even more raunchy. And I think that for the most part, it ain't gonna kill nobody. I think that they're gonna grow from this song. I don't see Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion making these songs at 30 in their 30s. I don't think Cardi B is in her 30s yet, right? But I don't see them making these songs. Definitely, I don't see them making these type of songs 5 years from now, right? When you're younger, you tend to just be wild and loose and just really have a I don't give a F type mentality. So when you get older, you tend to measure your words a bit more, and you tend to think more about the consequences of the lyrics that you put out. I know that don't do nothing for people right now, but when artists get older, even the best, they tend to temper their music. Prince is a prime example. The music that Prince did, some of the early stuff that he did, Darling Nikki, Red Corvette, he would have never made those songs. Even Purple Rain, he would have never made those songs like in his 40s and 50s. And he didn't make those type of songs in his 40s and 50s. He was much more introspective at that age. So I think that these women are gonna grow from this. They're not gonna continue to make these type of songs. And keep in mind that, you know, right or wrong, we did the same thing. Many of us did the same thing. We listened to this type of stuff. Maybe not this exact stuff, but I know I snuck and listened to songs that was explicit that I wasn't supposed to be listening to. And, you know, I ain't turned out the best, but I think I turned out okay. Moving on. Trump tests positive for COVID-19. This was a good day for some people. Trump has a lot of enemies in America and around the world. And this just was one of those situations where, you know, people had high hopes. You know, what can we say? People had a lot of high hopes for this guy, you know, for what was going on with him with this when he tested positive. And this was announced on October 2nd. And he actually announced that he and First Lady Melania Trump tested positive for coronavirus. He was hospitalized for 3 days at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center before he was discharged to continue his recovery at the White House. Somehow, some way, this dude recovered from COVID in 48 hours. It was quick. It didn't seem long at all to me. Seemed like he was like right back, or maybe he never recovered and he just went out there anyway and just spread it to everybody he came in contact with. But I remember him getting inside of that, what was they call it, the limousine, and riding around, waving at the Trump pansies, waving at them. Hey, I'm still alive. Hey, y'all, I'm still alive. And they were just so happy to see their master. It was incredible. You know, just the amount of adulation that they had for him. It was just remarkable. Which reminds me, I better check the troll trap because the trolls are out. I know the trolls are out right now. I see Miss Michi in the building. What's up, Miss Michi? I know that the trolls are definitely out right now. Anytime you mention Trump, boy, the trolls like, he's talking about our master. They start running. Yeah, I'll teach him. Well, they hate it when you talk about Trump, boy. They hate it. It's like Trump, that girlfriend. Trump is their girlfriend. Now they're Trump's girlfriend. Boy, they love some Trump. I never seen people love a dummy so much. You know, like love like a person with no class and they're dumb and they're uncouth. I never seen somebody love somebody like that much. I never seen that much adulation for a dummy. Never. It's just absolutely remarkable. But anyway, the Trump testing positive for COVID, that was a big one. That was a big one because we all kind of like felt like he would probably test positive anyway because he big time anti-masker, right? Yeah, he don't want to wear a mask. You know, he think he's too good. He think that he's somehow he thought that he was Superman and he's not going to wear a mask and he's going to put up a tough front. But you gotta think, perhaps if he was a regular 82, well, how old is he? 85, 89? How old is he? Let's see, Trump. Donald Trump. 70, damn, that's how he's at 74? Damn. He looked like he at least 85, 86. But anyway, okay. So if he was a regular 74 years old dude, you know, regular 74, I probably would like, if he was a regular 74, I probably would, he probably would have survived, like he probably wouldn't have even caught COVID. But because he's a 74 Cheeto eating, Snicker bars, Papa John's nasty pizza, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Popeye's chicken, Church's chicken, all fried, McDonald's, Big Mac, French fries, shake, meatloaf, ice cream. He probably eat all of this stuff while he's sitting on his royal toilet. That's how he probably do. I can see Trump right now. Eat, flush. He probably eat and flush, fam. He probably eat and flush at the same time. Yeah. So if he was like a healthy 74, he probably would have never even contracted the virus. But because he is a broken, toe down, his immune system probably is on his last leg. He caught it. And I don't believe he got rid of it in 48 hours. Unless they already had something, unless they had something special to give him that they hadn't been giving to everybody else. Because everybody else laying up for weeks at a time. Some people months at a time. But he gets it. And he's cool after just a few days, a couple of days. Nah, I'm not buying it. Not buying it at all. Not buying it. Trump is the reason I do believe. I blame Trump for all of these cases right now. All of these thousands of cases, tens of thousands of cases daily, these record-breaking cases, I blame Trump. He could have gotten this thing in control early on, but he didn't. He lost control. He could have got it under control real early, but he lost control because of his arrogance and incompetence. Incompetence first, but arrogance a close second. So he led the nation astray. He put the nation in harm's way. He cost us 344,000 deaths. And you still got people rushing out there to defend him, to support him. And they call themselves patriots. They call themselves Americans. Where they do that at, fam? Like, how can somebody be responsible, be at the helm of leadership during a pandemic that they mismanaged, and people rush to go vote for him for a second term? How is that even possible? What happens in your little bitty peewee brain that makes you think that's a good idea? I do not understand it. Absolutely ridiculous to me. What's up, God's son, for real? Rasta Gideon, what up? Vivian Mallory. Yeah. As y'all can see, fam, I got the champagne behind me. I already popped it. I already started drinking mine. You know, just in case, 2020 been a hell of a year. Get my toast in early, man. Yeah. We got a new member on the channel. Bridget Williams. What's up, Bridget? What's up? Let's see what we got going on here. Audra Stockstill. It's a different name. The Ugly Fat Show. What's up, Charlene? Woke up this morning, got a letter that she wrote. What y'all know about that? Anthony Hamilton. What y'all know about that? All right, back to the countdown, fam. Jada Pinkett Smith and August Alsina entanglement. Whoa. On July 10th, Jada Pinkett Smith confirmed she was once romantically involved with singer August Alsina during Friday's episode of her Facebook watch show, Red Table Talk. The actress said the relationship happened roughly 4.5 years ago while she was separated from her husband, Will Smith, who joined her for the show. The sit down on the show came after Alsina opened up about the relationship last week, prompting rumors and discussion on social media. It set a new record on Facebook's most watched original episode in the first 24 hours, Variety reported, with more than 12 million views as of press time. Jada Pinkett Smith and August Alsina entanglement. I'm going into the comments for this one, fam. That was something else right there, fam. When she said entanglement, a lot of people had never heard of that word, but they got familiar with it real quick. Young men like good-looking older women. You know, I dated an older woman when I was 18. She was 30. There's something to be said about older women who are sophisticated, older, sophisticated women. Not no older chick that's just wild and crazy. No. Sophisticated. Yeah. Something about that, man. Level up. Yeah. So, yeah. I can't say that I had a bad experience. I do know that the first time, well, actually, I dated 2 30-year-olds when I was 18. The first one, I was at home sitting on the couch. I had the music low. And let me set the scene for y'all, fam. Everything in the living room I had bought. I had bought a new dining set, a living room set, new stereo system, everything. I got the red light going. I got slow music playing, and we sitting on the couch hugged up. My mama come home. I'm not expecting her to come home. In fact, damn, I wasn't 18. I was 17 because I left home at 18. I left home when I turned 18. 18? Okay, it was before. Yeah, I was 18, but I was out the house before I turned 19, but I was still 18 at the time. So my mama walks in, flips on like, what's going on here? Why is it so damn dark in this house? I was like, oh God. Excuse me, who are you? How old are you? I was like, God. Don't you think you too old for my son? God, man. Ooh, it couldn't have went any worse, fam. I'm talking about embarrassed the hell out of me. I was like, that was a wrap. That was the last time. It wasn't the last time that I seen her, but it was the last time that it was for real. God. Yeah, so I got a little experience. My second experience with an older woman that was 30 and I was 18 wasn't too bad. She was a lawyer, and she was like very, very like sophisticated, like really sophisticated type. She tried to give me stuff like give me like a car, a new television. You know, I had a little old raggedy television, whatever. She tried to buy, like, nah, I'm good. She always tried to buy me stuff. I was like, I didn't feel right, you know? Yeah, I'm old school. Like I'm like old school in the sense that I don't like women like buying me stuff that I can't afford. And I couldn't afford a new television at the time, and I could not afford. I could afford a television if I continued to work. You know, like a new television would damn near cost me a whole paycheck, right? So I had to piece my money together to get to that level, right? Couldn't afford a new car. She tried to give me a new. Well, it wasn't new. She had bought a brand new BMW. So she was driving the BMW, and she tried to give me her Fiat. She had a Fiat was like maybe a couple years old. She had to give it to me. She was like, baby, that's how she told me, baby, you can take it. Take it. You need something dependable. I was like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I ain't feel right. I just didn't feel right. You know, at that time, I had a hoopty. I had a gray Maverick. And the only reason why it was gray is because it was prime. I couldn't afford to get it painted. But I bought it for $200. I bought it from this dude named Dana that I was working with at the Chronicle for $200. And I drove it for about maybe three months when it was working, 3-4 months when it was working. And then I sold it back to him for $200. I was like, man, I can't do nothing with this, because I used to have to drive. When I drive it and I come to a light or a stop sign, I used to have 1 foot on the accelerator and 1 on the brake so that it wouldn't cut off. Yeah. So fam, so you see, you don't get there overnight, right? It's a process. It's a process getting to where you want to be at. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do, right? So, but I just never felt right about a woman. Like, I felt like she was, on some almost taking care of me type thing. I ain't feel right about that, man. It made me feel like less than a man. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. I don't understand why dudes do it. How dudes can live with themselves today that do it, but I couldn't do it. So anyway, I guess if it works for you, it's okay, but it didn't work for me. But anyway, Jada Pinkett Smith and August Alsina entanglement caused a lot of discussion. Had a lot of people wondering what the hell is going on. And, I could tell when dude first started talking about it that he was being honest. Now, the extent of his feelings, what he thought the relationship was and what Jada thought it was, people have different opinions on it. She says that, hey, this is what it was, and when she cut it off, it's cut off. Now, I do know women who can have these type of situations with men. I know men that's like this too, but I know specific women who have had relationships with men, and they be like in between their dude. Maybe they fell out with that dude, but they had something with this dude, and now they over here trying to recover for a minute, trying to get through it, and they need that dude, that transition dude, that entanglement dude, and they have fun, and then when they go back, dude thinking like, damn, man, how can you just cut me off like that? I thought you loved me. I mean, we was such a great fit. And you just, that's it? Damn, baby, how you gonna do me like that, baby? And that's what it seemed like to me. It was. It looked like Jada had got her situation back right with Will, and she was gone, And she felt like dude should have just appreciated what they had at that time. But then you have people that say, well, she took advantage of not just his youth, but his mental health condition. They're saying that she was supposed to be helping him get through a rough patch in his life. And some people are saying that she took advantage of that. I would argue that if she helped him get through that stage and got him to a point to where he was healthy again, I think mission accomplished. What if she wasn't there at all? You have to think about these things, fam. It's not as simple as some people make it out to be. So that's the way I look at it. Look, and I ain't got a dog in the fight, but I've seen these situations before, so I can speak on it without being emotional, without attaching any emotions to it, just looking at the facts. You know, so if the dude was on the edge and he want to check out, and somebody come into his life, and whatever method they use to help him get through it, to help him get through that rough patch, you know, whether it was an intimate relationship or whether it was building up his confidence by telling him how great he is and trying to motivate him to focus on goals and just get through these things one day at a time, whatever method that she used to help him, apparently it worked because he's still alive and he seems to be more well today than he was when she found him or they found each other. So if she helped him get through such a difficult stage in life, I think that counts for something. But anytime you have a situation where you have, you know, you're in a relationship and your relationship fall off, it starts to suffer, and you start dating somebody else, it is going to complicate things. Things are going to get complicated. Then when you consider that this person you left in the interim, this person was dating somebody else and messing around with other people, and then y'all try to come back to each other, you can come back to each other, but you got to deal with the remnants of what was going on in the interim, what was going on your time, your break apart from each other. So it seems that Will and Jada have found a way to make things work for them. And my thing is, like, when it comes to these relationships, everybody got to do what works for them. And as long as there is not anybody being hurt, and even if somebody is hurt, if both people are okay with that, then you got to let them do what they do. You know, Bill Withers had a song called "Use Me." He said, my friends, he said, my brother sit me right down and he talked to me. He told me that, you know, he said, my brother sit me right down and he talked to me. He told me, all you want to do is use me. He said, I told my brother, I said, brother, if you only knew, you wish that you were in my shoes. You just keep on using me until you use me up. And then he said, at the end, he said, well, it ain't too bad the way you're using me, because I show him using you to do the things you do. Think about that, fam. In relationships, there's nothing wrong with being used. The problem occurs when you are being misused. If you cannot be used, you are useless. Nobody wants to be with somebody who is useless. In every relationship, somebody is using somebody for something. If you cannot be used, you are useless. Even in your relationships with your children. Oftentimes, parents will go into a depression when they feel that their kids no longer need them, when their kids become independent of them. Even when their kids are still financially dependent, when parents see the kids just come and go, and the kids, they don't have control, they can't really control the kids' movement. The kid want to hang out with their friends all the time. They get to be a certain age. Don't mean they don't love you no more, but they just want to hang out with their friends and stuff. And they're growing up, they're doing the same thing we did. Hell, we didn't hang out with our mom and daddies when we was 14, 15, 16, 17. Hell, we was trying to hang out with our friends and kick it and have fun and party. That don't include mom and daddy. Mom and daddy feel some kind of way about that because they love you, and they know they love you really more than any of your friends could ever love you. They love you for real. But you're going through your growing pains, and you don't want to do that around mom and daddy. And so mom and daddy sometimes forget that. So they just got to remember, like, hey, they'll come back around. They'll see what's important at the end. They'll come back around. It's a cycle. It's a process. So just respect the process. And, as they live and they start being around friends and trusting people and dealing with people and going through situations and getting betrayed and friends not being what they thought they were, they're going to start taking inventory of their life and thinking about who is really there for them, who's been there for them, who is really important. They're going to start counting the real friends. And they're going to be like, shit, mama always been there. Man, daddy been consistent, man. Daddy the most consistent man in the world. Man, I know. They're going to start thinking along those lines, and then they'll start wanting to be around you more. But also, and I know I'm getting off base a little bit, but also, if you're in that type of situation, if you know your kid like doing certain things, buy some tickets. You know your kid like the, favorite team is the Lakers, buy some tickets. Go check out a Laker game. You know that your daughter is interested in, I don't know, your daughter was maybe, I don't know, maybe it was a cheerleader in high school or something, and now she's going on into college or whatever, and maybe she want to check out the cheerleader competition that's coming to town or something. You find out, it might not even be your thing, but that's what she like. So you go, or such and such is coming to town. You can't lose with concerts. Their favorite artist is coming to town, or somebody big is coming to town. You can't lose with Beyonce tickets. You can't lose with Jay-Z tickets. You can't lose with Eddie Murphy tickets, Dave Chappelle tickets. You can't lose. Everybody like Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, Beyonce, Jay-Z. You can't lose. You can't lose with Drake tickets. You see? So Chris Brown tickets, can't lose. Even if they're not the biggest Chris Brown fan, it's an event. Everybody going. So they're like, you know what? I'll go check it out. This is free tickets. I'll check it out. Go do some fine things that they like to do and invite them to an outing. That's how you stay close to them. Sometimes it's got to be more than just when you're going to come see me. Or just getting together to go to a restaurant. Get outside the box, do some activities, do something different. All right, going in, fam, going back in, continuing the countdown. Kamala Harris breaks the glass ceiling as the first female vice president. Now, fam, you know that I have not been a fan of Kamala Harris, but Senator Kamala Harris of California, she made history as the first woman elected vice president. Now that Joe Biden has won enough states to capture the White House. Biden whooped Trump ass, whooped his old raggedy ass during the elections. Stopped him in his tracks, made him a one-term president. After Hillary Clinton came up short in her bid to be the first female president, Kamala Harris took care of business and became the first vice president. Did I say Biden whooped Trump ass? What them Trump pansies at? All you Trump pansies out there. Biden whooped Trump ass. I know some of y'all are holding out, thinking that some kind of way Trump could still win the election because, you know, thieves never stop working. Thieves are always up. That's why they say death comes like a thief in the night, because, you know, thieves are always on the alert. They're always lurking. It's over. One-term president for the dotard, the chief, the demander, and thief. Out of here. Love it, man. Yeah. Good move. So Kamala Harris broke the glass ceiling. Well, I tell you something, man. In life, you never know what you're going to get. It's crazy. You just never know how things are going to turn out for you, because, you know, it's you just never know how things are going to turn out. That's why I just live life and just go. I just get up. I have things planned. I have an agenda. I have goals, and I do things to work toward those goals. But as I work toward those goals, I know that life happens and anything can happen in between. And that's why I stay like this. I keep those horse blinders on. I stay focused. When those things happen, boom, get them out the way. Boom, boom, no matter what it is. I might pause, but I get going immediately, because it's life and you can't predict all these things. Who could have predicted that you'd have a female vice president this fast? I wouldn't have, and I would not have predicted Kamala Harris out of all people. I would not have predicted that she would be the vice president. Okay, we counting down, fam, for New York. Let's see, clock. Let's see. Trying to get on the time. Okay, here we go. Up, up, up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, New York, East Coast. What up, baby boy? I got you, baby girl. Boom. Here we go. Okay. Good stuff. Man, that Moe, I don't care what nobody say. See, I be rhyming, fam. I don't even be trying to rhyme. It just be happening. I ain't be trying to rhyme. I'm just cold like that. Cold like that. Happy New Year's, East Coast. Let's see. Man. New Year 2020. Hit the road, Jack. One more toast. One more toast for the Central America. We're still live. We're going to be live for the next hour. We're going in. I'm already receiving New Year's well wishes on my phone. It's my lawyer, Bud, out in Nashville, wishing me a happy, merry New Year. Man, champagne's some good stuff, man. Who made that stuff? Who came up with champagne? Somebody had some hard liquor. Somebody said, I want something more exquisite, something more high class, but that can be consumed by the common man, like a Willie D type. There will be a Willie D born in the year 66, in 1966, in the United States of America, somewhere, and he would drink champagne someday. It happened, fam. See what I'm saying? All you got to do is just speak on it. Speak it into existence. Speak it into existence. Happy New Year, East Coast. Yeah. Let's continue the countdown, fam. So, let me close out Kamala Harris. Kamala becoming vice president is going to do wonders for young Black girls and females in general who for years have seen themselves as not part of the upper echelon of politics, meaning that the top brass, those who walk through the halls of the White House, So, if nothing else, she's going to inspire, hopefully somebody who will shake up everything and do the right thing and ride for the people and do right for the people. And, women are not going to be looked at as people who cannot lead and who cannot make critical decisions under pressure. You have those who say, well, it's a good thing that a woman isn't president because, they're so emotional, they'll start a war like this. Well, so far, every single war that's ever been started in American history has been started by men, white men. Every single war. Every single war. Women hadn't had no part in it. So if somebody got a problem, I think the problem should be with white males, not women. And it's just like with the police. The police indiscriminately just gun down Black males all the time because they say they feel threatened. But the data says that most cops get killed by white males. So it seemed like to me that if they're scared of anybody, they should be scared of white males because that's who killed them. That's who most often killed them. But that's too much like right? Anyway, moving on. The shooting deaths of rappers Pop Smoke, King Von, FBG Duck, Mo3, and others. Rap has took some L's this year. I'm talking about L after L after L. Being a rapper has been easily the most dangerous job someone can have in 2020. Pop Smoke was shot and killed during a home invasion in Los Angeles on February 19th. He was 20. King Von was shot and killed on November 6th after an altercation outside of an Atlanta hookah bar. He was 26. FBG Duck was shot and killed on August 4th in the Gold Coast district of Chicago as he was shopping. He was 26. Mo 3 was shot and killed in his hometown of Dallas, Texas on November 11 while being chased down on a highway after leaving a female companion's house. He was 28. Rapper Huey, known for his 2006 hit Pop, Lock, and Drop It, was shot and killed on June 25th in St. Louis. He was 32. The only one out of the 5 who got to hit 30. Usually, if you're a black male in America and you can get to 30, usually you can live your life out where you don't get gunned down, you don't get killed. And this is something that I actually took note of when I was a teenager. I thought about this. Most of the people that I saw getting gunned down in the streets and stuff, they were under 30. So I figured, like, if I could get to 30, perhaps I'll get a chance. I'll stand a chance of not being gunned down like a dog in the streets. I always felt like some kind of way about that, seeing bodies on the street, just laying out on the street. I always just felt some kind of way about that. Like, it wasn't just the loss of life. It was laying in the streets dead, like a body, like a human being on the street dead. Just laid out dead like a dog. That's threw me off because I'm like, dogs get done that way. And I always felt some kind of way about that. I realized early on that if I could get to 30, I might have a shot, being that I'm from the hood. And, you know, a lot of dudes that's from the hood get killed before they're 30, you know, especially if they're from the streets and from the hood. Like, because you can be from the hood and not be street. You can be from the streets and not be street, right? So anyway, I surmised that perhaps the reason why so many young black men get killed before they're 30 is because they don't have good skills in conflict resolution. Meaning that they don't really understand how to communicate when they have a problem with someone. Even myself, I was raised in a household where you settle conflict with fists, guns, and insults. If my mother, or sister, or brother had a problem with me, man, we fighting. It's a fight. It's an insult. Somebody trying to stab you or shoot you. I'm talking about even family. So you settle conflict with fists, guns, and insults, and you don't really think too much after that. Contrarily, if you look at, let's take 2 white kids, right? And this is not to say white people are not violent, because we know white people kill each other all the time, but and white people do the same thing black people do. They just do it in a different manner. But let's just take a situation where there's some conflict between two white dudes. This is what a typical conversation would go like. Hey, Brad, man, I heard you were mad at me and you wanted to fight me. Brad be like, yeah, man, I heard you was talking shit about me. No, man, I wasn't talking shit about you, man. I don't know who started that rumor, man, but no, man, I'm cool with you, man. I thought we were cool. I don't want to fight you, man. Just like that. Brad go, oh, okay. All right, man. Yeah, all right, man. Because I was like, I didn't understand, man. I was like, man, I thought me and Jared was cool. You know, and then I hear you talking shit about me, man. It just didn't add up, man. So yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool, man. You know, next thing you know, they're hanging out, drinking a beer together. Same situation, two black dudes. One dude here that the other dude had a problem with him. Instead of him giving the dude a call, a friendly call or a courtesy call to see what's up, if you're gonna call him, he might see him and don't say nothing to him at all. But it's the tension. You can see the tension. And he don't say nothing. And he's just like, yeah, you know, talking about he don't like me. And now the other dude like, yeah, this nigga looking at me crazy like that. Now he looking at you crazy because you giving him bad vibes. Now he giving you bad vibes. Both of y'all done heard something now that one don't like you and the other said they don't like you, or they want to get you or whatever. So now y'all upset at each other and y'all might hang around each other, see each other for a few days or whatever, and don't say nothing. And then next thing you know, somebody who probably was the instigator say something. Yeah, I bet you won't tell. Yeah, I bet you won't say that to James. You know, fuck James. Oh, next thing you know, boom. Oh, it's a scuffle. It's some fighting. It's a scuffle because it's a lack of communication. It's ineffective communication. See, the best thing to do if somebody got an issue with you, sometimes it's a harder thing to do for men because men get stuck on stupid with that pride thing. But pride will get you shot in the guts. You know, conversation rule the nation. So how hard would it be for you to ask somebody who you actually know if they have a problem with you? Yo, hey, let me holler at you, man, for a minute. Hey, man, we got a problem. Or you know, I heard, you know, somebody saying you got a problem with me about something. No, I ain't think we had a problem. We good? Or you might approach him like, hey, man, we all right? Because that might be a better way to say it instead of just saying, do you got a problem? Because he might take it the wrong way. Yeah, you got a problem? You know, like that. So a better approach might be to say, yo, hey, we good? Yeah, we good. What's up? No, I'm just saying, you know, because I thought we was good. I mean, you know, but, you know, I heard that, you know, you had an issue with me or something like that. I know I ain't got no issue with you. You know, no, man, I ain't got no issue. See, just like that. But we have, you know, it's a process of conditioning, fam. That's all it is. So just like you're conditioned to do things the wrong way, you got to be conditioned to do things the right way and to get an understanding. And so that's why it's important for men to raise men, because a young boy may not appreciate that same conversation, that same information, if it was given to him by his mother or another woman. He may not appreciate it. He may think, oh, that's just women talk. But if a man give him that information, especially a man that he respects, a man that's been there, that has perfected the art of conflict resolution, you know, he go like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna try it like that. You see? So this is why I believe that a lot of our young men get themselves in these type of situations, because they don't have the tools to resolve conflict peacefully. They don't have the tools. Now don't get me wrong, all conflict cannot be solved peacefully. But I can tell you 99% of the stuff that I see out there happening could be resolved peacefully. It could be resolved with just a conversation. It could be resolved with just somebody moving in a different direction. Most of these dudes is pulling out guns and they shooting up people over he say, she said. They shooting somebody because somebody bumped into them, stepped on their shoe. Somebody killing somebody because they dating a girl that they want to be with. All kind of stupid stuff. So 2020 has been hard on rap, man. Rap has taken a many L's. If I was just now starting out and I was like just starting my life, if I was a 14, 15-year-old kid, I wouldn't be interested in rap. I wouldn't be interested in rap for two reasons. One, the bar is very low. Almost anybody can get in the game. They letting anybody in. So I wouldn't see it as a challenge. I wouldn't really see it as something that required like a different level of skill set. So I wouldn't really respect it. I like doing stuff that's on different levels, like that's on a different level that everybody cannot do. So I would not be interested in rap for that reason, and I wouldn't be interested in it for the fact that, damn, where's the reward when you can work your way up out the hood, make something out of yourself, go get your money, and still get killed? Like just a regular dope dealer or something, like, just a regular gang member, still get killed? Nah. So I would rather just I'd do something different. Okay. Let's see who we want to touch right now. Give me a sec, fam. Let's see.
The late Antonin Scalia and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who despite having totally...
Okay, the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Supreme Court Justice and unrelenting trailblazer for gender equality, died September 18th at the age of 87. She was the second ever woman appointed to the High Court, the second ever woman appointed to the High Court. Her death left a vacancy for Trump to fill, which he did with yet another Republican, stacking the deck in the Supreme Court, with the Republicans having a 6-3 favor. And so this is why her death was such a big deal. Not besides the fact that she was very accomplished and she was a trailblazer, the fact that the vacancy of her death opened up the possibility for Trump to fill that vacancy with another Republican judge. Pretty much guaranteed things are going to go the Republicans' way for another 20 years or so, at least. Yeah. So that was a big deal. Let's see. The death of Little Richard. Let's check the chat right quick before I go into Little Richard. Yeah, if y'all out there on those streets, fam, y'all be careful. A lot of people don't make it into the new year because they have car accidents and they die out there on the road celebrating. And then there are those who do actually make it to New Year's, but on their way home, they get killed in car wrecks and they die on the first. So be very careful. Yeah. Yeah. So going in, That's the death of Little Richard. Very rarely, fam, can an artist combine gospel, rock, rhythm and blues, and absolutely no one has done it quite like Little Richard. Little Richard had the voice, he had the style, he inspired a generation of performers. He is considered one of the architects of rock and roll by mainstream America and media. But to me, he is the architect of rock and roll. Little Richard died at the age of 87 on May 9th. Somebody else, who else died on May 9th? Let's see. May 9th. Or we'll come back to it. Anyway. But Little Richard never really got his due, right? Little Richard used to, every interview, man, it would be hilarious, him talking about how white folks stole his style and how Elvis wasn't, used to copy him and all this stuff. It would be hilarious, but it would be also serious because Richard was serious. He was really serious about his music. And, he fought his entire life to have that respect. And, I think he had a few million when he died, but being the architect of rock and roll, he should have had much more. Let's see what Richard had in the bank. So yeah, Richard still had $40 million at the time of his death. So, he did okay. He did okay, but, being the architect of rock and roll, he should have had $1 billion, at least $1 billion. But, 40 million, you can't be mad at 40 million, right? So he outlived his money. But Little Richard was something else, man. That dude was wild. But nobody could match his performance. So think of any rock and roll dude that that you look at as an icon, that you admire, that you respect, and that person feels that way about Little Richard. So think about that. John Lewis, the death of John Lewis. U.S. Rep. John Lewis was a lifelong activist, bold public servant, and crucial figure in the civil rights movement. He is one of the original 13 Freedom Riders and was the youngest of the Big Six civil rights leaders as he held as head of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. As a politician, he represented Georgia's 5th Congressional District, which includes most of Atlanta. He died at 80 years old on July 17th after battling stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Man, July 17th, it's been that long, that fast? Man, it seems like just got the news a couple of months ago. Yeah. John Lewis, the death of John Lewis. The death of Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther actor. He died at the age of 43 after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. His death on August 28 shocked fans since he had completed several blockbuster films while keeping his diagnosis private. Big shout out to his circle. His circle is super tight. His circle kept their mouths shut. Here's one of the biggest stars in the world, and he's battling cancer, and nobody told. Nobody said a word. Nobody in his camp. We're talking about today, family. The year 2020, the age of self-snitching on the internet. The age where nobody can keep nothing private. They tell everything. And then tell you to respect their privacy. That kills me, fam. People get on the internet telling all their business. And then they say, please respect our privacy at this time. Fool, we ain't asked you nothing about your personal stuff. You the one put it out there. Now you don't want us to comment on it. Crazy, fam. But Chadwick, everybody that I knew who knew this dude, I didn't know him, but I know several people that do know him. And all of them said the same thing. Good dude, good dude, good dude, good dude. Not one just bad, not one bad statement about him. One bad comment. People just say he was a good dude. And he left some good films behind for us to look up to and be proud of. Like, he played in some good roles, and he said he did that purposely. He took roles that showed Black people in a positive light, and he did that on purpose. Reminds me of Denzel's journey. Denzel said that's how he rocked. You know, he wanted to do movies that showed Black people in a good light, and he did for the most part until he did Training Day. But I wouldn't take that Training Day back for nothing. I don't even know anyone who could have done it better. Training Day was one of the best movies ever. I mean, he absolutely killed that role. And you know, he had to be good to play a cop, and to have that role be endeared by the hood. Like, people, like street dudes, absolutely loved Denzel in that role. He played a dirty cop. Now, you know, nobody likes dirty cops, but Denzel played the hell out of that role. He did that. And picked up an Oscar. Yeah. Yeah, he did that. So I think Chadwick was trying to like emulate Denzel to an extent. You know, like Denzel really paved the way for actors like Chadwick. And he put it out there that you can be Black and pick your roles and do roles that are a reflection of the positive side of the Black community. You don't have to be a janitor. You don't have to be, well, I guess being a janitor is not necessarily a bad thing, but you don't have to be a drug dealer, a pimp, a killer. Although Denzel does make a good killer. But when he's a killer, he's a good guy killer. You know? Denzel always played the good killer. Like when he played in Man on Fire. If you haven't seen Man on Fire, go check it out. Cold-blooded movie. And while I'm thinking about movies, also check out Fatal. That's a good movie. That's out right now. That's out right now. Deon Taylor, good dude. He is the director. He nailed it. Good movie. Good sound, good cinematography, good acting. All the way around, good movie. The versus battles, man. The versus battles became a cultural phenomenon. Big news. And the reason why the versus battle is in here is because the versus battle don't stop. It's the gift that keeps giving. The versus battle was born out of giving people a little escape from the coronavirus pandemic. Timbaland and Swiss Beats debuted versus an Instagram live battle between the two of them. They kicked off the series with their own battle in April, not realizing that it would soon become a cultural phenomenon. Over the past several months, millions have watched as artists such as Teddy Riley and Babyface, Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle, Benny Man and Bounty Killer, and Brandy and Monica, Jeezy and Gucci Man, and many others play hit for hit. One of the most memorable, well, I'll put it like this. The Teddy Riley and the Babyface, that started the most memorable versus battles, with Teddy Riley having technical difficulties, right? And I interviewed Teddy Riley, and we talked about this, and we laughed about it. And he took it on the chin, and he took it in stride. He was like, man, I was trying to give the people more than what they had anticipated. And, I was just having technical difficulties. And I thought that people went in. At first, I thought they was going in too hard on him, but then at the end, people started coming around, and more people started putting it out there that Teddy is a legend. He's to be respected. And, he was, trying to do, he ended up doing too much, but he was trying to give people more than what they anticipated, being the consummate artist that he is. And I couldn't be mad at him that he was trying to do that, but it didn't work out. Had it worked out, we both conceded that had it worked out, it would have been beautiful. Everybody would have been like, oh man, that was dope, man. But Teddy Riley was jamming, he was rocking out, man. It was dope, But because he couldn't get the sound right, he became a meme. And Babyface came off as the cool, laid back dude, And you start thinking like, this is for the cool in you, right? So that was very memorable. The Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle, that was dope. That was super, super dope. I love watching that competition. Seeing Patti take off her shoes, and I thought Patti would get up before Gladys Knight did, but Gladys Knight got up before Patti did. That threw me for a loop. I couldn't believe it. It's like, look at Gladys Knight. I said, look at Gladys Knight doing her thing. And then, of course, you cannot forget Gucci Mane versus Jeezy. Oh, man. That one, I thought that's where the competition went left. I know a lot of people saying we're doing it for the culture, but I thought that it was, you didn't know what was going to happen. Hell, we didn't know if it was going to be a shootout or something. And I think versus should be about, a good time. That's what I liked about versus. It was the good vibe, the friendly camaraderie. This idea of, battling somebody that you probably want to do something to, or you got a problem with, that could go wrong, and it creates too much negative energy. I like the positive energy vibe from versus. That's what I liked about it, with Teddy Riley and Babyface and Gladys Knight and the Patti LaBelle. I like that. Even the Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. I like that. I like that camaraderie, that friendly camaraderie. But I think if the Jeezy and Gucci battle did anything, maybe it helped mend some old wounds, right? Maybe it helped them get past their situation, which I really still don't think that Jeezy is all the way behind. I mean, Gucci is all the way behind it. I think Gucci still feels some kind of way about it. And he just did what he had to do to get through the night. I think that when Jeezy sung that verse about when Gucci sung that verse about killing Jeezy's friend, who he say that Jeezy sent to kill him, ooh-wee. And then Jeezy took the high road and didn't retaliate. Yeah. Personally, I don't think I don't think it took a battle to do that. I think they could have had a meeting and just came together and had that out the way. I think it's too much of that in hip hop. I think it's way too much of that in hip hop. It's too much gun talk in hip hop. So the energy that hip hop projects is the energy that hip hop injects, right? So I'm glad that they were at least able to seemingly patch things up. But in the future, I'd like to see more versus battles of friendly competition and not situations where you feel like, you know, everybody got to show up with a gun and the paramedics got to be on standby. The impeachment of Donald J. Trump. Well, the Trump pansies, I'm going to give y'all time to get yourselves together. Go get a drink, Stank. Go get a drink, because I'm about to go in on your leader. Get your drink. All right, here we go. Trump faced an impeachment trial in January on charges that he asked Ukraine to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter. He was ultimately acquitted by the Senate on February 5th. He was only acquitted by the Senate because they were partisan. So it didn't matter what the charges were, what the evidence was against him. They were never going to convict him. So the whole idea of him being impeached in the first place, it was just a dog and pony show because it was never going to happen. But I do appreciate the Democrats putting it on his record, put that stain on his record, because it's not a good idea for you to have the worst president, one of the worst presidents in history, and he not be impeached. One of the biggest criminals who ever sat in the Oval Office, to not have on his record that he was impeached. So I very much so appreciate it. The men and women who took time to bring charges against one of the 21st century's biggest criminals, hijacked the American people for over $100 million spent on his resorts and hotels. Over $100 million, fam. He's taken in from the American people. And they still went out and voted for him. They don't want a sane society. They want an insane asylum. They do not want peace. They do not want goodness to be bestowed on America. It's too many evil people that live in this country. It's too many damaged, violent, destructive, devilish people, demonic people who live in this country. And a lot of them sit in the courtrooms and in judgment of people. A lot of them make the laws. This is why the laws are so messed up. They're the same ones who co-signed the Constitution. Anyway, I love the idea of him being impeached. It was a beautiful thing, absolutely beautiful. Oh man, I loved it. It was just such a great, great thing. Kobe Bryant's death. That was a tough one, right? That was a tough one. Nobody saw that coming at all. Kobe Bryant was easily one of the coolest dudes in the game, one of the most respected players in the game. He was one of those dudes who had a good mind, right? And I just knew Kobe was going to go out there and build something. Because it's one thing to have money for yourself, enough money for yourself where you can do whatever you want to do and you ain't got to do nothing. You can just go around, jet set, just play, have fun, do whatever you want to do. It's another thing to build and create opportunities for other people and stuff like that. That's beautiful. And that's what I saw Kobe doing. And all of that came to a screeching halt on January 26th, when he died in a helicopter crash outside of Los Angeles. Now, he retired after the 2015-2016 season. And, so he had about 4 years to enjoy his retirement. And then he was killed in an accident alongside his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 others. Nearly 9 months after the accident, LeBron James led the Lakers to an NBA title. Ain't nobody really have a problem with that, except the team that they played against who they beat to win the championship. But man, Kobe Bryant dying in a helicopter, dying so tragically, man. That's what did it more than anything. I think if it had been something involving some type of like natural causes or something, it would be different. But an accident, like a helicopter crash, something that tragic, ooh, man, that was cold. Shook up the world and shook up Los Angeles even more. Kobe Bryant, dead at 41. One of the biggest stories of the year. Joe Biden defeated Donald Trump to become the 46th president of the United States. Yeah. So Trump has been mentioned 3 times in this countdown. No mention is of more importance than the defeat that he suffered at the hands of Joe Biden, someone he said that he would easily defeat. Joe Biden, after beating the demander and thief, offered himself to the nation as a leader who seeks not to divide but unify, a country gripped by a historic pandemic and a confluence of economic and social turmoil. As Trump polarized the Republican Party with claims of voter fraud over the weekend, President-elect Joe Biden sent the opposite message to the country, calling for bipartisan unity in his victory speech. Trump hasn't said we're winning in a long time. I haven't heard him say that at all. Why? Because he's finally got a reality check that he is a big old loser. He's always been like this. He's just been able to hide behind his money and his thievery. So some people in America, they think that money make you a good person. They think if you got money, that means you somebody, you something, because you got money. Man, you could be sitting on $100 million and still be worth shit. You can still be ain't shit at 100 million, 100 billion. You can still be not shit. When their leader, their master lost. A lot of them right now, they wake up every day, they don't even know what to do. They love Trump more than they love their own life. They love Trump more than they love their children. Pathetic. They're pathetic. How do you love somebody that's so dumb, so uncouth, so classless? So evil and racist? Oh, I know how you love them. The same way you love yourself. Yeah, man. When Joe Biden beat Donald Trump, that was one of the greatest moments in 2020. Very few highlights of 2020, very few good moments in 2020. But that was one of them. The look on his face when he gave his speech spoke volume. I think they should make a GIF out of it. I think they should do that. Like, I want to watch it every morning. Just look at that face. Like, boy, that boy was sick. Couldn't take the pressure. I loved every moment of it. He was sad. I was glad. It was beautiful. The biggest event by far, besides COVID-19 pandemic, was Black Lives Matter protests resulting from the deaths of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and Breonna Taylor. The summer was filled with protests against systemic racism sparked by the deaths of Black people, including George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old Black man, was shot to death on February 23rd in the coastal Georgia city of Brunswick after being followed by Gregory McMichael, 64, his son Travis McMichael, 34, and their neighbor, William Roddy Bryant. All three dudes, who are white, were indicted by a grand jury in June on murder and aggravated assault charges, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. Breonna Taylor, 26, was killed by Louisville police during a March 3rd raid at her apartment. None of the involved officers were charged with her death. Breonna's killing, as well as the death of George Floyd, who died on May 25th in Minneapolis police custody, renewed calls for police reform. In a video of Floyd's arrest, he repeatedly said he could not breathe as now-fired Officer Derek Chauvin pinned him to the ground with his knee on his neck. The death led to Chauvin's firing from the Minneapolis Police Department, as well as the termination of Thomas Lane Tartay and J. Alexander Kahn. Chauvin was charged with second-degree murder and manslaughter, and the other three with the aiding and abetting murder, as well as aiding and abetting manslaughter. More protests erupted in August when 29-year-old Jacob Blake was shot by a Kenosha, Wisconsin cop and paralyzed from the waist down. Black Lives Matter protest and the deaths of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and Breonna Taylor. It'll be interesting to see how much influence the protest, how much lasting influence the protests had, because it had influence. It sparked some immediate changes, not enough. It sparked a lot of conversation, not enough. sparked a lot of companies to donate money, not enough. There needs to be more all around. It's time for these companies that was around during slavery, that profited from slavery, to pay reparations, including these banks like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase. They need to pay up. These schools like Princeton and Yale, Harvard, they need to pay up. They got it. Patch it up. Put the money together and pay up, suckers. Yeah. Come on with it. Going into the comments. The Von Bay Network. What's up, Miss Sean? Theodore Young. What's up, Theodore? Antoine Alston. I think that's more Austin. Six more minutes to the countdown, fam. 6 more minutes to the countdown. We're looking at a Central Time countdown. This is Central. This is all the Midwest and the middle of the South. Gail Jones, what's up? Pull my clock back up. All right, here we go. 4 minutes left. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, fam, and you know, I did fail to mention ecstasy from Houdini. That was a pretty big blow. Ecstasy. Yeah. Lance Parker, salute. Happy New Year. Peace, health, and wealth. I can dig it, man. I need a little bit of all of that. In fact, say that again. I need a lot of all of that. Peace, health, and wealth. I can dig it. Trey B Solo. What's up, Trey B Solo? Appreciate you. Yeah, I see you, Trey. Trey checking in on the Cash App. What up, Trey? Anita checking in on the Cash App. What's up, Anita Gardner? Tammy checking in on the Cash App. Pauline checking in on the Cash App. Lisa checking in on the Cash App. John on the Cash App. Appreciate y'all, fam. What's up, Show Kings? Peggy Gallinger. I see you. Free my grandma say, okay, let me lay down in the bathtub. It's about to be all gunshots. Yeah, man, that's sad, but damn, you know. What can you say, fam? That's why I say get the hell out of the hood. I'm assuming that's where you are if you got to get down in the bathtub. So that's typically where that type of stuff happen at. And sometimes in rural America, you know, that go on in rural America. Oh, here we go, fam. Damn, I missed the countdown. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bam. All right, countdown is over. Missed the countdown. That's all right. I ain't missed this drink, though. It's midnight, y'all. It's midnight. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Y'all want some of that? Look at that. 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 Ooh-wee. The glass match the belt and the plaque. The gold album. Look at that. And the drink. The drink is even gold. Some people like platinum. I like that gold. I like gold. I hear fireworks where I am. Good stuff. Anil, what's up, Anil? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, fam. I really do hope that everybody have a prosperous year. You know, everybody that deserve it. Some people, I ain't gonna lie, fam. Some people don't deserve to have a prosperous year. I'm gonna just be straight up with you, fam. Some people don't deserve it. Especially, you ever see how some people, man, could have everything, man, and they just be blowing money and doing ignorant stuff and throwing their life away? You be like, man, as hard as I have to work for this bread, and this fool just threw away 50 racks. Then he turned around and spent $300,000 on lawyers and still went to jail for 8 years. The racists don't deserve a good life. They don't deserve no prosperity. Anybody in this country trying to hold black people back don't deserve no prosperity. If you're trying to hold my people back, you don't deserve nothing. You don't deserve no prosperity. You deserve all the pain that you get. If you love me, I love you. You cool with me, I'm cool with you. But man, if you got a problem with me, I got a problem with you. You got a problem with my people, I got a problem with you. Period. I ain't finna be all that old forgiveness stuff. Trey B. Solo, what it do? Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm not about to be all that old, disrespecting me, trying to put your hands on me, and I'm forgiving you now. I ain't that dude. I'll bring you some pain, baby. Trishan, what's up? Happy New Year. Appreciate you. Mikey S on the Cash App. Happy New Year, Mikey. Happy New Year, Marlon Price. That's family right there, fam. Demetrius Lofton. Hey, fam, it's a beautiful thing when your family supports you. A lot of times, what's crazy is that a lot of times you don't even get support from your own family, but you get a lot of wants, but you don't really get support. But it's cool. It's cool. It's all what they say. It's all good. That's good. I might bust another bottle. Yeah, let me think about that. Got to think about it. Travis Williams on the Cash App. What's up, Travis? Happy New Year. Black Mama. What's up, Black Mama? Where you been? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Free my grandma. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yeah, I don't think that we could, I don't think the new year is going to be, I think it's going to be a lot of, first of all, I think it's going to be bad first. Because keep in mind, fam, we got a lot of people that's going to lose their homes because of this pandemic. A lot of people we're going to have to get past that first quarter. And I do believe like after, well, I think really it's going to take probably about the midway through. I think by midway through, people are going to start like not being exactly where they were before, prior to the pandemic. But I think people are going to start getting some hope. But I still think that top of the year, first quarter, second quarter, I think it's still going to be a little rough patches along the way. But if you can weather the storm, you know, the strong gonna survive. Trade be so low. Tam Long, I am thinking positive, man. But I always think positive, but I also think rationally. You know, it's quite possible to be positive and still think rationally, right? You know, some people think thinking positive means ignoring the truth, ignoring facts. Like, no, you can be positive, but still have a grip on reality. And reality tells me, like knowing what I know about recessions, it tells me that it's not going to be the new year. Don't mean day one things going to be good. With a new president, day one don't mean things are going to just miraculously turn around. You know, it takes time for these things to start moving. And I think that's what's going to happen. Now, if I was just negative, I would just say, oh man, it's going to be more of the same and we're going to have a hard year and blah, 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 blah. I don't believe that the entire year is going to be anything like 2020. I think it's going to be better. I think 21 has to be better. You cannot have two consistent years like this. Like this would put us back in the 1920s. Man and machine, what's up? Appreciate you. Happy New Year. Ray coming through on the Cash App. Nikki coming through on the Cash App. Nikki B. Tony Tone on the Cash App. BB Banks on the Cash App. Miss Black, salute. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Happy New Year, Miss Black, salute. Marcus Thompson, my bad. Marcus Thompson. MT, what up, Marcus? Happy New Year. A username. Happy New Year. We made it. We did. We made it, fam. You know what? I'm finna call Corey Holcomb, y'all. You know what? Nah, he working. He probably at work. He probably working. Today, Friday. You know what? But it is COVID. Let me call. I'm gonna call anyway. Pauline Conway on the Cash App. What's up, Pauline? Happy New Year. Dexter on the Cash App. What's up, Dexter? Tracy Davenport on the Cash App. Raul Ramirez on the Cash App. Raul Ramirez. Happy New Year. Tina on the Cash App. What's up, Tina? RJ the Alternative. What's up, RJ? D King in the building. Earl Times. Rashida, what's up, Rashida? Where you been? Rashida might be feds or something, but I mean, Rashida be low key. Like she be out for a minute, then she just go under. She just go off the grid for a while. Gotta watch her. Official Lori, what's up? Michael P on the Cash App. Tay on the Cash App. Love Lady on the Cash App. I'm finna call Corey Holcomb, y'all. Watch it. Hold on. LaShawn, what's up, LaShawn? Just arrived in Louisville. Been listening since Nashville. That's what's up. Appreciate you, LaShawn. Man, why is it doing FaceTime audio? Please leave a message after the tone. Please. All right. I'm finna just call and bug people. You know, I'm at home, everybody else partying probably. I'm just gonna call. Just mess with people. WD. Hey. Hey. You live. What? You live. What I say you live. You live. You on YouTube live. Oh. We celebrating the new year. Oh, that's We already on.
They can't see me.
They can't see you, but they can hear you.
Oh, what's up, YouTube? Face Mob in the building. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year, WD.
Hey, where are you, man?
I'm down the street at a little house get together with my neighbor.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I thought you might be a little closer. I was gonna come out and holler at you.
Oh hell no! I'm at home.
Okay.
I'm not. Nah, bro. We can party tomorrow though.
It's all good. We're gonna jump up.
Let's go. Yeah,
all
I'm
right.
gonna go out to the garage, man, so we can talk.
Okay.
What's the topic of the discussion?
Oh no, we just talking about New Year's. Just bringing the New Year's in.
Hey man, let me say this. Let me say this to everybody out there listening. I am so glad that 20 is over. I'm so glad that motherfucker is behind us, y'all. We lost a lot of good people in 20, man. You know, and being locked in the house and me catching COVID and going through these health issues, man. I'm just so glad that shit is over with, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like goodbye 20. See you would not want to be you. Hold on 1 second. I need all them little girls back in the house. Okay, I just don't want the bullets to fall down. You know, whatever go up gotta come down. We can shoot them out the garage. Okay. Yeah, my bad, man. I'm just saying, Will. It was a tough year on everybody, man. And I want to save a prayer for the people that made it, and another one for the people that didn't. Man, 2020 WON. We won this time, y'all.
Yeah.
Golly. Yeah. I'm just sitting here, man. I'm finna smoke me a cigar. You know I can't drink nothing, so that's my entertainment now.
Right on. It's all good. Well, man, I appreciate you blessing the people, man, with your words of wisdom. So we'll jump up in the morning, though.
Man,
you know, we got a hell of a year tomorrow. I mean, we got a hell of a year. We got a hell of a year. Yeah, we got a hell of a year coming up, y'all. Y'all get ready. Brace yourself.
Big plans for the ghetto boys.
Brace yourself.
This shit all year.
Brace yourself. All right.
All right, man. Love to everybody that's out there in YouTube, man. This is Space Bob, and I'm signing off. Happy New Year.
All right, King. Happy New Year.
Yo.
Pass it on to the wife. Yeah. All right. Let me see who I can call and bother, fam. I'm just gonna call and like I said, I know everybody is probably like at home. I mean, just probably just somewhere like probably somewhere just chilling. I'm just gonna bother people. All right, and they ain't picking up.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 704.
All right. Who else? I'm gonna wake somebody up. I'm gonna wake somebody up or stop them from partying, one or the other.
Happy New Year's, King.
Hey, what's up, King?
Man, that's crazy, man. I just was watching with the sad one, man, with the kids.
You was watching what?
Killed the little children. I just was watching it. People came and said, "What you watching? The news?" I said, "Well, pretty much the news for us." That's what I really watched. The video you did on your thing about the mom killed the two children. I didn't get to finish it. Yeah, man. Happy New Year, big bro.
Man, we on. Hey, you on YouTube right now?
Huh?
You on you?
What I'm doing?
You on YouTube right now?
Oh, okay. What's up, y'all? What's up?
I got you. Hey, I got you on speaker.
Man, what's up, y'all? What's up, kings and queens out there? Happy holiday, happy New Year, man. Real talk.
Absolutely, man. So basically, man, you know, 2020 was a hell of a year, man. It was a lot of ups and downs. We saw a lot of tragedy, a whole lot of downs. Seemed like more downs than ups. It went bad for a long time, but for you yourself, I know that you got some good news on the way out of 2020. So that was a great blessing, man. Man, bless the people with something, man. Just give them some motivation, some inspiration, from somebody who actually been through something, man, and survived.
Exactly, man. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Well, I'm not really good at giving advice. I'm good at showing advice. Especially going through what I just went through. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that would have went through that or have through that in a different fashion. You know what I'm saying? I didn't try to act innocent or do all this and do all that. Since I was innocent, I was innocent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't try to act innocent. I just was innocent. And hung in there. I knew it was coming. It was coming. Got the right legal team. But that's a treacherous situation, man. That legal system is broken. Our legal system is broken, especially for black men.
Right.
So yeah, it worked out, man. It worked out. You got to show resolve, man. You got to hang in there. We built for it. We built for it, man.
Hey, you say you ain't really good with talking about it, but you're more good about that action. But hey, man, what you just said, that go a long ways, man. You just said a mouthful, baby.
Man, thank you, man. Because I don't like to tell. I don't want to tell nobody the wrong thing. I don't want to be a stumbling block to nobody.
Right.
That's why I don't do all the churchy stuff. You so godly, then it's just showing you won't, shouldn't you? You never do like yaka. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I tell you what, WillieD, bro, we truly appreciate your platform, and we got your back 100,000%, bro, for real. You give it to them raw and you honest. You know what I'm saying? I like the perspective that you come from, big brother.
I appreciate that, King. I appreciate that.
I always get something from it every time I watch it. Every time.
Absolutely. So look here, man. So happy New Year, man. I'm glad we made it. You know what I'm talking about?
We made it.
Yeah. Mama, we made it, man.
For real.
One love, one love, King. I'll be hitting you up soon.
I appreciate the call, King. Thank you for including this, man. Thank you, man. It means a lot.
Absolutely.
And much love, y'all. We got it. We gonna make it. We good.
There it is.
What?
It's my dog right there. Let me see who else I can bother. See who else I can bother.
WillieD.
What's up, King?
What you got, guys? Hey, Bob.
Huh?
I got WillieD on the line, man. I got WillieD. Get them boys, nigga. Old school nigga? Yes, sir. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I'm my partner, you got out the field.
Yeah. Tell him welcome home. Hey, I got you. Hey, I'm over here on YouTube Live, right? We talking about the new year, just bringing the new year in, and I just want the people to hear your voice.
They can hear me?
I got you on speaker. They can hear your voice. I just wanted you to give them a few words of encouragement. 2020 been a hell of a year, man. So I just want them to hear your voice.
If it don't kill you, it make you strong in your head. You gotta turn the pain into your strength. You know what I'm saying? And for example, I got a lot of partners that have died. I took that, I made music with it. I spoke my soul with it, and it's helping me get where I want to get in life right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it don't matter where you at in the point in life. It's always better. It's always like, you know what I'm saying? Never give up. I was just patient 40 years.
Right.
And I slept next to somebody with life.
Yeah. Right.
A couple people in life. You feel me?
Right.
So, yeah, man, ain't nothing you can't do.
I'm with you, King.
And also, it ain't bad to take constructive criticism. Ain't that right, Willie?
Real talk. Real talk. Real talk.
Hey, I appreciate you though, yeah, because like a lot of older cats, they ain't the type that'll get on the line and you can listen to what a younger person you got to say. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I appreciate you for even taking the time to listen to my style.
Absolutely. Well, you got a lot to say. You got a lot to say, man. And you know, I can't wait to see what you do in the future, bro. Because you know, I respect what you do. You know, and I respect your mind, man. You're really wiser beyond your years. So, you know, I see something different in you. Yeah. It's all good, man. I appreciate you dropping them gems on us, man. And I'll talk to you soon.
As well.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, King. All right. Thank you. All right. Let me see. Who else? Who else can I bug? Let's see. All right. Let's see what Bond doing. Let's see what Bond doing.
Happy New Year, OG.
What's up, King?
Man, I can't call it.
Man, I'm on this YouTube live, right?
Yeah.
And I got you. But my people can hear your voice. I just wanted you to tell them something real cool. You know what I'm saying? That you know, 2020 been a hell of a year. And I just want you to give them a little inspiration, King.
Well, I mean, you know, if you can hear my voice, then that means you made it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that means there's purpose to your life and your existence. So keep that in mind, that no matter how rough this year was, you lived through it.
No matter
through something like this in your life, you know?
Right.
Keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? Remember how strong you were in 2020. Take that same strength, everything it took for you to get through 2020 and in 2021. Keep mashing, stay focused, keep God first. Continue to do what you got to do to get through.
And there it is. I appreciate you, Bond. Hey, man, I'm sure you're at home, right?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah.
you know, after you do it all, man, you bring it all to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
that's right.
Yeah. So it's all good, man. I appreciate you, King, man. Happy New Year, man. Tell the wife and the family, man, I said the same.
I sure will, man.
All right, King.
Soon.
All right.
Peace.
Bun B, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to call somebody, fam. I'm trying to wake up everybody. I'm trying to wake up everybody.
But the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
All right. Buster said he ain't set up. All right, who we got? Who next? Let's see.
Happy New Year, Willie D.
What's up, King?
I'm good, man. See it as 2021 come in, and 2020 go to the back for a minute.
Right. Hey, look here. I'm on this YouTube live.
Okay. You on it tonight?
I'm on it right now, and they can hear your voice.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How you doing, man?
So I wanted like in light of this.
You want my face on there?
Well, yeah, man. If you can do your face, you know what? Let me send you. You know what? Let me send you. Let me send you. Let me send you. Let me send you an invite.
One of them links.
Yeah, it's easy. It's
invite.
easy. You don't even have to set up anything. It's real easy. Shoot. You got my email address, right?
It's a WillieDKickYourAss.com.
Send it to mail at WillieD.com. mail at WillieD.com.
mail at WillieD.com.
Yeah.
Okay. mail at WillieD.com. Okay, hold on. I was actually packing my shit. mail at
WillieD.com.
Okay. And you're gonna get Chuck D at channel0.net. That's me.
Yeah.
Do I got 2 minutes?
What's that?
Do I got 2 minutes to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, go ahead. Here we go. I'm back. Most of us drinking Tokbager. Coming up, fam, is the one and only Chuck D from Public Enemy. Public Enemy. One of my favorite all-time groups. Coming up, Chuck D, fam. Charlene coming through on the Cash App. What's up, Charlene? Appreciate you. Waiting on Chuck D to get in here, fam. Waiting on Chuck D. Oh, there he is.
There I am. You know, I had to try the Google Chrome because I had it on the damn Firefox 1.2 from back in the day. That ain't gonna work. So you got to get compliant to the systems that make these things happen. But here I am. I'm usually watching you on the other side, man. I'm usually watching you do your thing on the other side as a what would you say, as a attendee in your audience or silent consumer of your
subscriber,
viewer, subscriber. I'm all that to WillieDLive.
Yeah, appreciate you, King. What am I looking at in the back right there? In the background, are those CDs or books? Or
books over there, and DVDs over there.
Oh, okay.
I don't collect CDs. I don't collect music. I collect books and DVDs, and I made all the DVDs. I knocked those down into like this and this, and, these once those things go up. So I'd done that years ago. It took me about 5 years to take everything I have and knock it down digital. So they could be more up there for show anything. Although if you go out there and try to get yourself for like a DVD player, it's gonna cost you, bro. I mean, no, not DVD player. A DVD and a VHS on the same unit, they're gonna cost you about $500-600, man.
Yeah, and don't try to get it. Don't try to pay to get them to transfer the stuff to you on a disc or something like that. It's a wrap.
Well, you gotta know some people that really do that as a business that to give your personal goods to because you've been working with them for years. So there's a couple of operations I know they kind of do it. But now they have companies out there that they call them legacy.com. They could take all your old photos. They take everything. There's a couple of companies out there to trust. But if you got, anything, you got to trust who you give your information and your documents to. Like, for example, I don't know about, your family, but my family, man, the as far as pictures and all that shit go, it's absent, man, a lot. The 50s is absent. There's more things in the 60s, but if you had to go back to the 50s and the 40s, I mean, and even the people that like with our day, you know, you running around with a 110.
My family, the 80s are absent.
No, well, I'm just saying, picture-wise, you know, like, remember when we started out, you had 110 if you were lucky, right? Well, if you might have had the 110, you was lucky to get half of those photos back. You take them to a Walgreens or wherever. So I said, man, I went to y'all with a roll that I just shot up at the concert that I just had, the Public Enemy and the Ghetto Boys, 1989, and I want to make sure that I could just get like 30 of my joints back. Come to find out, you only getting 10 back because the 20 were overexposed, a thumb in the middle of it. I mean, so these times with phones and all that, man, you know, a lot of times people don't know how good they have it. But then again, that's how things work, man. I mean, were we happy? Were we really happy because we could go to the store and get a dozen of eggs when 2 generations ago they had to pick them eggs? You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, you about to know. I'm talking to the one and only Chuck D. Let me explain a little history with me and Chuck here, right? So prior to getting on with Rap a Lot and, you know, hitting the scene and paving our path, you know, Chuck D was one of those artists that I aspired to be like. I like Chuck D's energy. I liked his, if you've ever seen him perform on stage, I mean, if you see me perform, you're really seeing like a knockoff Chuck D. Like, cause when I work that stage, I got that off of Chuck. Chuck is all over the damn stage. Like, he don't work just one side of the stage. Chuck is like here, boom, 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 boom. And even at his age right now, you know, even when you think he's giving you everything, only I know and a few other people know that he would have done more a few years back. But he's still more active, than all of the new cats. Like, the dude is like boom, 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 yeah, and just always forceful and bringing it. The energy is always there, consistent. Every single show, no nights off. So I patterned my performance style off of Chuck. And so when we had an opportunity to tour with Public Enemy, this was 91, right? 91, right?
Yeah, 91 we first toured together. Yeah. The beautiful thing about this rap thing that people don't even know is that, you know, myself and Public Enemy, Daddy-O from Stetson Sonic, we relished the opportunity to go to cities and meet the rappers in that city. I mean, we like, listen, man, we glad we in your city. Man, we put you on our guest list. So we didn't come to people with that whole "we from New York" thing, man, because we was like, that's not going to bode well. I'm from Long Island, so that we understood that whole radiation from the 5 boroughs and all that, really the 4 boroughs. But I'm being nice about that. But I'm saying that we knew wherever you go in somebody's home, you got to know how to take off them shoes and just walk on their rug and be like, I'm glad I'm here. So we in the town, everybody come to this spot, man, but this is your town and this is your home. And that's why when we met right before you joined up, it was Ready Red, and may he rest in beats, and Bushwick was running around with y'all, and you had done some solo records. Matter of fact, we played your solo records during the whole 1988 tour, you know, with read these Nikes and songs like that. And my crew played your records first, you know, before I got around to them. So you was the favorite rapper on our bus before I even thought so.
Right. Nice. Well, you know, going back to what you were saying about, you know, that having that humbleness about yourself, about the group, and that awareness about going into different cities and paying homage and having that respect and wiping your foot off on the rug, real understanding that you are a guest in the house of these artists when you go to visit these other cities. That's the thing that resonated with us about you guys is like y'all made it easy for us to tour with a New York group. People that y'all don't understand in 91, 90, 91, 92, 93, hey, this was a time when New York was very, very territorial. And they would anybody that was not New York was considered an outsider. And it ain't like it is now. Like right now, man, you can have a hit and you got a hit. It don't matter. It's getting played in New York and anywhere else. But back then, New York was very, very territorial. And even we could feel that energy when we first started getting around some of the New York groups. You know, we kind of felt like step kids, like they looking at us like they kind of like looking at us like they standoffish or whatever. But Chuck, there's
a reason for that too, Will, because they you know, being on tour is like the finals, and they had to get through the playoffs out of New York. So,
right.
So it's territorial inside New York like hell. So they coming up out of there, but we say, well, it was hard for you to get out of New York, but understand when you going around these places, you starting all over again. And they thought they in the playoffs going to the World Series or the finals. I'm like, nah. Now the regular season starts because you're gonna start visiting people in their own homes. It worked for a while when people was like, "Oh my God, New York," but that was 80s, and then by 88, 89, that started to wear off, man. So you better know where you're going.
Yeah. Well, I think you know, you guys, y'all were perfect, like to lead to basically guide that ship, because that was a hell of a ship we was on. That tour is still considered the greatest hip hop tour ever. And
we had a good time, man. We had a good time.
To be a part of that, man, was something real special. And you know, with you guys at the helm of everything, making sure everything went smoothly, and you know, y'all just had a way, especially you know, you had a way of making everybody feel like they were equally important and equally needed. Man, you ever thought about being a coach?
Well, I figured like in rap and hip hop, man, that's the closest that this is what I do. I don't do those sports, you know. For example, it's like watching even you from the outside looking in and being invited to a couple of your boxing matches, man. You know what it's about, man. You got to walk everywhere you go in a humbler spirit. You want to be highly competitive. But even in your competition, although you at the end of the day, you're looking for the W and you might get the W, you know, the thing is like what you in the teaching mode all the time. You in the teaching mode by example. Yeah, we competed on stage, but after it's all and over, what do you learn? What did I learn from you? What people didn't understand, I learned from the first group that came out on the stage, although I was headlining. Because I'll come out and see the first 2-3 acts do their thing. And I see I see what they're doing right. I see what could be viewed as a mistake, and all. I might, you know, if they open enough, I might advise a little bit. You know, like you know, to just speak coincidentally, Ecstasy from Houdini and Dougie Fresh was like that for me.
Yeah,
you know, it was a highly competitive. We were opening up, us and Stetson Sonic. You know, we had 10 minutes, 8 minutes in some cases. And we were coming on a tour where cats was like on a higher level, kind of going at each other on the superstar tip. So, but I would say that Ecstasy and Dougie Fresh in sound checks, the Ecstasy would pull me to the side, saying, "Oh man, you got it, man." And the biggest thing with me, my first year, man, I was nervous as hell, man. I couldn't understand. It's like I'm looking at 12,000 people. How do I rock 12,000 people? I'm nervous. I got the nerves every night. And we just open up. So, you know, like in those places, you opening up, it start off as 8, 9, maybe 10,000, end up as 20,000. Going to the summit. The summit is packed. It's 15,000 on the first act, man. So I'm like, you know, but Ecstasy, man, he toned me down. He said, man, yeah, well, you can turn your back, make sure you see the DJ, turn back around. You know, to me, I thought it was like I'm looking at a big gigantic rug, or it looked like a gigantic pizza. I'm trying to remember lines, hear the DJ, you know, but like anything, and even like sports, well, it's like the more you do it and comprehend it and go at it and take tutorship and have your head open, it slows down for you. And then if it slows down for you, what can you learn? I watch like LL every night, man. I watch Dougie every night. I watch Houdini every night, man. Every night. So when you see me move around, it was finally, it's like it came from all of those. It came from a Schoolie D. And so I took and put my combination together, and then find out later on, Ice Cube said, man, I got that from you. I said, well, I got that from Schoolie. And I thought the Schoolie, I got that from Melly Mel. So we've had a camaraderie in hip hop that a lot of times people just don't understand to this day. They like to put in a generalization like, oh, y'all hip hop, y'all crazy and all. They never talk about the brotherhood and camaraderie we have. They never talk about the brotherhood and the sisterhood we had when we on tour. It's about work. It is about business. Everybody say, oh man, y'all got all this going on. I said, nah, man, we talking about at the end, from beginning down to the end. You doing a 4-hour show. You're not doing your 45 minutes. It's a 4-hour show for the people. So we learned, and also when us and Ice-T would get together, we made sure if we was at the tail end of a show night, what we could do at the beginning of a tour, get everybody in the room, talk to everybody. We all in here together. Sometimes if you get carried away, when we go like into Jackson, Mississippi, and one of y'all go and say, we're going to try to just say, we all want to get up out of there. We all want to make it home. If you got something going on, keep it behind closed doors. You also know that you understand when you go into a city and go to the after set, you want to meet all the dudes and shake hands with them before you rope yourself off with all the women who everybody know each other anyway. So these are common courtesies that were new. They new to a lot of situations in rap music. I mean, they went through a little bit of R&B, but that's a whole different dynamic because you got the Temptations and they singing to a general audience of people having a joyous time. Hip hop and rap, you could be, talking joyous, or you could be like pow pow pow, So you want to like shave some of it down when it comes down to real talk with real people. And that was very important, especially when we went to places and with black folks is that, man, you got to have a policy, man. Policy is the thing that saves your ass anywhere you go, whether jail, whether school, whether out of the country. You got to understand, you got to come with a policy. And a lot of your policy should be diplomacy, and that's without kissing ass. So
real talk. And and I think a lot of cats get that misconstrued. They think that if you are courteous, somehow that's a weakness. When you have presidents who are more powerful than all the hoods put together, who will know that they have a beef with a certain country or whatever, a certain dictator or whatever, but they're going to have that conversation because they know that if things go awry, hey man, a lot of things could happen. A lot of bad things can happen. So it's better to have some diplomacy and a little courtesy than to go in and have an attitude, be arrogant, because and pride, because pride can get you shot in the guts. And there's millions and millions of people that we're walking on right now, who are dead out of pride. So that's an excellent point. And one of the things that I don't know, out of all the discussions we've had over the years, man, I never asked you who came up with the idea to implement the military style dance routine in the y'all show.
Oh, that was Griff, Brother Roger, the S1Ws, man, because they were in the nation and they were in their various factions. They had the Unity Force. And Unity Force was our security when we threw gigs. Griff was actually with Hank. He was one of the first Spectrum City DJs. And then he went off, he left, he went down south for a while. When he came back to New York, he had a whole nother organization, was just talking about security, but we were still doing the music. I came in, joined Hank in Spectrum City in 1979. So when we was throwing gigs from WBAU, the radio station and all, Unity Force did the security. And that's a whole story movie in itself, because we had on Long Island, we had the 98 posse, which is the 98. These are thugs that drive around in 98s. I mean, Long Island was not like the city where you get around the trains. You need a car on Long Island, and there's 2 ways to get in and out. And these brothers, you come out to Long Island, you start some of the thugs would be like, we cut the parkways off so you can't get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So at our gigs, it was such, Nassau County was such a thing where the thugs didn't want the parties messed up because they had Operation Gang. So you mess up a Spectrum City party, they got all the girls there. If a party's messed up, then they go home. So the thugs had their game going on there. The S1s was securing a unity force. They were securing it. They made a pact. They said, if anything go wrong in here, man, that means they violent. So then we can't have happen. We can't have this party go down. It's just too many things connected to it at stake. If this go down and doesn't happen, then our whole county is dried up and everybody here. We can't have nobody coming from Brooklyn starting up some stuff. So they would put ultimatums, man. The S1s would throw them over to the thugs, and then they would get dealt with. And if they really carried it, then the police who they related to would come in and lock them up in the county jail. And in the county jail, they get locked up and cats be like, oh, you messed up a Spectrum party? So don't get it twisted, man. Long Island was the beginning of country. Now, they might tell you, yeah, well, that's New York. Yeah, it's New York, but it's paved country. And Nassau County is where in the county it's the next one outside Queens, and it's boxed. So you boxed up in a small spot inside of a box. So you had to go to Suffolk County to get out of there, or to Queens. Can't get to Brooklyn unless you go through Queens. So if you're in a car, you ain't gonna get out of there mass transit. No such thing getting you there past a certain time. So long story short, the security, what happened, the activity and all, it was all connected. It was one connected bunch of hundreds of thousands of people who were connected because everybody knew each other and knew about each other. That changed also as we got further and further out of R&B. And that was the Reagan and Bush period where we got assaulted with drugs and guns. And the drug game came out of left field. The gun game came out of right field. And that just turned it into something else because that was the beginning of the eradication of young heads looking at OGs with respect.
But before I go further down that road, I want to just get some clarity on the military style dance moves, the routine inside.
They're born out of the FOI and the nation.
But how did Griff present it to you? Like, because I'm sure you probably wasn't thinking about like having military style, performances going on. So how did he present it? Did he come to you and say, "Hey, look here, Chuck, watch this"? And he started.
It was a combination where we knew that those combinations, knowing that our whole element came out of the Panthers, right? You see, they dress like Panthers. Mm-hmm. Also, Nation of Islam. Also, paramilitary situations that's going on, Patrice Lumumba, and so on and so on. So Cass was highly elevated on knowledge. As the steps revolved around us, originally the S1W stood still.
Okay.
We just wanted to look. We had performed on the Def Jam tour. It was our second tour at the Beastie Boy tour. And the first show was a disaster, man. It was in Richmond, Virginia, man, and it was a disaster because they stood still. With the Uzis during the Beastie Boy tour, and just the fact that they stood there shook the hell out of 15,000 white kids. Yeah. They were like, "Oh my God, what the hell is this?" We were the antithesis of the Beastie Boys. Mm-hmm. Well, we up and did that same thing in Richmond, Virginia, on a black crowd, and they were like, "Fuck is this?" You know what I'm saying? And we performed, and we ran the whole Public Enemy tone through the whole show. It was just too far to the left, too punkish. It was like, what the hell? So the next day, the next tour city was Norfolk, Virginia, and at sound check, Dougie Fresh had pulled Griff and 2 S1s to the side and basically said, "Listen, they standing still, right? I think they should move." So it was Dougie Fresh. Second show, Norfolk, Richmond, Virginia, May 1987. He said they should have movement. Wow. Mm-hmm. Chuck and Flavor go around and Terminator. They should go have movement. You move around. I don't think you should have a mic, but they should have movement. And then they went on from there and then incorporated their Nation of Islam FOI drills into it. And then 4 of them came out, and then they all developed that background thing. Dougie Fresh, once again, Dougie Fresh laid that idea. Y'all should move. And nobody thought of that. It was like, boom, the fact they just standing up there will be intimidating, but not to no damn black crowd. You could do that. White kids in Worcester, the Beastie Boys, Murphy Laws, they up there. Oh my God. Man, black kids in Richmond, Virginia in 1987 was like, man, we're going to throw rocks at you in a minute.
Yeah, I'm going to do something, man.
Yo, and here's another thing. This crazy thing. Here's a crazy thing, bro. Richmond, Virginia, man, it was the first town, man, they threw rocks in a ring. If they didn't like you, you could get rocks through the security. Metal detectors ain't going to pick up rocks. And you get hit by a rock thrown from like yonder or whatever on stage.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, I hope this don't become a style.
So they threw rocks at y'all?
They threw rocks at everybody, man. That became like, yo, man, they're gonna throw. Little. It could be this big, man. But somebody throw a rock, man, from like 300 yards away. That's a man. That'll put a head out, an eye out, whatever. Nah, man. I was lucky, man.
Did you keep it moving? You kept it moving?
I kept it moving, man. What?
It reminded me of the Juggalos.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons, Brian. Why I got respect for those guys for what they do. Yeah. But one thing I told them, I said, I'm not playing y'all. The cats throwing Faygo cans, man, and soda. I'm not. I ain't doing one of those until y'all put out some kind of ordinance, man. Because throwing something at the stage just is not gonna work, man. Because you got lights. Your thing is to get down and keep it moving, man. But I was seeing pictures, man. They throwing Faygo cans, man, and a can of soda, man. It's like, yo, man, that's a bomb, man. That's might be the H bomb coming at you, man. So yeah. So those were the times. So the S1 started moving after the second show on the Def Jam tour, and they developed from there and created their own. By the time you get to Fight the Power, you see something well developed, man.
Yeah.
Well developed. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I put this together to rock the bell.
Well, another thing too, man, because we got down with turntables and Terminator, especially back in the day, they had to watch the steps because the stage is hollow, as you know. You got turntables, and them turntables ain't floating off the stage. We ain't had those budgets. Where the turntables is levitated like Jam Master Jay's was. No, I was like on the stage. So if the S1's 4 to 5 of them going through a movement and flavor jumping all over, that record is like this. That's why on a lot of Public Enemy shows in the beginning, man, that record, man, and that was hard for me because here I'm doing, like you said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the record would jump because when that count came, they going through a drill. Stage is moving. If the stage is hollow, that stage moving like this. Flavor about to jump. He land on 7 before he say kick it. That record's that record's all the way at the end. That's why in the beginning we had to put vocals. We had to perform on top of vocals because if a record jump all the way to the end, man, you got to know where you at. You can't. You got to keep it moving. You can't be the record skips. So where am I? That's why you can't play. You couldn't play an instrumental back in the day. You guys instrumental, it's already jumps to the chorus. You still stop your show 5 or 6 times. So before, boom, you hear way in the back. The vocal would get way mixed way in the back, and because me and Flavor sound like the record, we sound live and we loud in our different voices. If the record skip and it go 1, 2, 3, and then go and pick up a line in the next verse, I pick up on it and boom, follow it like we didn't miss a beat, but it already skipped, knocked out half the damn song. I hated them days, man. Hated them days, man. It's like, damn, I really wanted to do this song, but the record skipped. Now we in the second verse.
So what do you think we are right now, like with the performances right now in hip hop? I see a lot of artists rapping and they're not using instrumentals anymore. They're using straight up vocals, and they're rapping over the vocals. And sometimes the vocals are still going and rapping, and they're on the phone talking to somebody, walking across the stage. They stepped out. They come down on the stage, signing an autograph. The vocals are still going. Are you still there?
Am I in red on purpose?
You're on red.
Am I in red on purpose? Why am I off?
I never seen that before.
I never seen that before too. Maybe I'm redlined.
Sure. Let's see.
Do you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
That's new to me, bro.
I cannot see you. Wow, that's crazy.
Is it because my it's not because my computer's low on memory, because you should still be picking me up.
Man, I've never seen this before. I've never seen the screen go red before.
Something always new happen with Chuck D and Willie D when we get together.
That's crazy, man. I've never seen that before. You know what? Let me remove you and try to add you back. Well, it's still red.
All right,
yeah.
You know what? I want to stop the MC and the mic and the can, but you know what? I'm gonna pick it back up on it.
Why don't you just stop and then log back on? Yeah. All right. We something's going on, fam. I never saw that screen go red before. Cold red, man. That's crazy. Somebody said red table talk. And reduced us to the red table talk, man. Well, I guess somebody knew we was getting ready to go there, huh? They knew we was going there. Yeah. Okay, here we go. There we go, Chuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can see everything. I saw myself in red. I was like, well, this is something new.
I don't know what happened with that. I don't know what that was, man. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Check this out. But anyway, man, where were we at? It doesn't matter, because I did want to talk to you about.
I know you wanted to talk to me about where rap is at today when they have the vocal. I don't want to talk about that. I mean, listen, man, I'll put it to you this way. Every artist can't compare themselves with the artists of the past or the future. They got to make their own audience go, oh, damn, I ain't never seen nothing like that before. But then also their audiences is different. They might not require that much from somebody they follow. They might be used to what they call fanatic abuse. Like, you can abuse your fans so much to they accept anything that you give. So, I mean, listen, man, it's an age thing too, man. Like, for example, you got young kids. If young kids turn 17, 18 to 21, 24, when they get on the crest of being grown, are they happy to be at the event, or they just happy, to see their artists, or they just happy to be there with their friends? It's all a combination. And now with a phone in their hand, they might be like, well, I'm just happy to be with my homies. Whoever on the stage could be at that, but I'm happy to be at the place to be. And that's always a big piece of concerts anyway. It's like, is it about you, or they just happy to be there? Now, if you got a 30 and over audience, they ain't gonna sit there with no bullshit. They gonna be like, listen, man, this better be popping, man. You better, and those are older than us. Back in the day, whether they see Gladys Knight or Bobby Blue Bland, man, they know I spent my $22 to see this, and I know Bobby Blue Bland gonna send me home happy. I know Gladys Knight and the Pips gonna send me home. Like, I know Frankie Beverly gonna send me back. I know Willie D, Curtis Blow, they're gonna send me back to my crib knowing I paid and got what I wanted, and maybe got a little bit more than I bargained for.
Yeah, that's true. And I do believe that I remember like coming up, like you had to have a show. Like some artists you might have one record,
Mm-hmm.
But if you had a show, if you could like perform, you'd be. But if you had a hot record and you couldn't perform, you didn't really do well with live performances. People didn't really book you if you didn't really.
No. You know what we used to call that? We used to call that, you know, either you going around. We used to call it like every market you go to is like a balloon. So it's like a balloon, man. Now you either go to that market with oxygen or pump, or you go in there with a pen. And you know what? Because you got a little buzz, right? You're gonna have a balloon, right? It's like a balloon. The balloon might swell up a little bit depending on the market in that town, you know, whatever. You got a little bit of air up in there. Now, when you go in there with a pump to pump it up more, or you go in there with the pen to deflate that shit. That's how I looked at it and say, all right, here we go. And you know what? Back in the day, because you rock in Houston don't mean that Austin gonna be like, ooh. Then you got we came out of Tyler, and now we're gonna hit Beaumont. Now, most of the places, you know, most of the people I come to, they couldn't even name more than, all right, we're gonna go to Dallas, we're gonna go to Houston, and they can name the NBA cities and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Me, I know 9 markets in Texas, and I said we just left Tyler, and we're gonna go to Beaumont. And then we're gonna go to Houston, maybe go Port Arthur, maybe. We can't go into there and say, man, we were rocking up here, so we automatically go. Because understand, well, I'm from Roosevelt, Long Island, so I'm from New York, but I know Roosevelt is a big difference from Queens, which is a big difference from Brooklyn. But you can't just go somewhere and just think automatically it's like we gonna just rock all Texas. We going to Texas to rock. I mean, yo, you be going home. You be going home.
This the trip part, you know, to add to what you're saying is that the smaller cities, you would think that because they don't get much action, that they would be more excited and more appreciative of some big acts showing up, right? The smaller cities, it seems like the more down to earth a city is, the more you got to convince them that, you know, you got to perform.
With that, you know, that ticket was used up by the time we started. Maybe a little bit in a year or two, where you just pop up in the spot because black people wasn't exposed in the 80s, man, especially doing this shit. You was a mythological whatever. So if you happen to show up in like Lake Charles, you show up in Odessa, right? Texas, Lubbock, maybe. They like wide-eyed, bushy-tail 1983, 1986, like a damn UFO landed and shit. You know what I'm saying? You might have got some like 1990. You go there, motherfuckers just happy because you there. That's just fucking 35 years, 28 years ago, man. It's like you better go to every single market in the United States. The only place that now you gotta probably go like to Rwanda, man, to get that type of reaction. Like, oh my God, a UFO landed. They rappers from the United, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be in the United States, man. Everybody got what? ESPN, they got MTV, they had BT for 35 years. Back then, man, BT wasn't even playing. Now we get video vibrations, man. Sneaker rap video, and it'd be Heavy D and the boys or something like that. It won't be your ass. Yeah. And then the box came along, and then that was a whole nother thing. So what it made it happen is that when you go to each one of these markets, you better sweat harder. Our whole thing in the beginning is like, number one, we got ugly music anyway. So none of this shit is palatable to just like, I'm gonna just nod my head automatically to it. Then it go fast too. So we better like the first thing in the concert, the priority is to see, not listen. They already listened to it at its best when they're in their cars, their tapes back then, their CDs. You know, they listening to you, watch it on video later on. They listening to you at your best they could sound. Inside an arena, it's, man, you could sound terrible, all good, or great, and all that. So make sure they see you, because a concert is to see. Now we in a visual marketplace. You still there, Will?
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. Now we in a visual marketplace, man. So we in a visual audio age, not an audio visual age. So now these generations, man, they better see. They don't want to hear. Listening is third. You know, music is sight, sound, story, and style. It ain't just sound. Sound is long. That was the 80s, man. Once BET came along and Yo MTV Raps, that means it was sight and sound. Today, it's sight, sound, story, and style. You get a person to scream about somebody and they don't even know what sound that they did. I mean, for example, name 5 records by Ray J. People really don't know, but they know that Ray J's a star.
Right.
They don't. People don't really like name songs by Ray J. They just say Ray J is Ray J. You know.
Is that because of the personality is bigger than the music now?
I think on some people, I think like a sight, story, sound, and style. It depends on which one you want to make your priority. Some people you can't mess with their sound, and their sound is that, and their sound going to drag people from another time. I think some people's sight, when you see them, you can't take your eyes off them. I think some people's style is just how they go about it, man. And sometimes you got people that got all the combinations, like a Snoop Dogg. He got all the combinations running for him. He what you call total package. He could drop a song, his videos, he got style, and also the fourth thing is style, sound, sight, and what's your story? They know his story. They know what he's about. So I think, when people get those things together, that to me, that's what makes you interested as a solo artist. You got these combinations going for you.
Yeah. We were talking about
like there's things that I'm gonna bring to the table that I would never, ever match what Flavor does. Ever in my life, man. Can never match what he does. And he could do this much, and I do this much, and they'll notice this much from him because that's what he brings to the table. I mean, like Sin Dog would Be Real. All Sin Dog got to do that is one little thing, and boom, that song's a Cypress Hill song.
Right. In this, I guess what I wanted to cover was the when we were talking earlier about the countdown, the biggest stories in 2020, besides the COVID pandemic, what do you think was the absolute biggest story, if you can find one?
Worldwide, it was how everybody was told to stay put, and they better had, and they did.
Well, I'm saying outside of that,
the biggest story to me is how everybody was ushered into being netizens from citizens, and everything went along with that. Before that, people were citizens. So, boom, I live here in my physical existence. This is the law I live in. This is what the country I choose, or I might vote for, or who the king or whatever. You citizens in the real world. That ushering into netizens was like, whether you like it or not, this is another world that was created that you better recognize. Matter of fact, if you commit a crime in this world, we'll make you pay with your physical existence. Matter of fact, we'll make you pay with your real earth existence based on a crime that you pulled in cyberspace. Now you could say, I'm gonna be off the grid, I don't want to pay cyberspace no mind, but then right now it's where they made everybody reside, and the last pushover in the 2020 is make you recognize that in the mirror. That's where you're gonna live half of your life. It's where you're gonna pay your bills. It's where you might make your money. Digits move this way, and you moving with them digits. That digit move that way, boom. It's like the physical aspects of it is not gone, but it's secondary to the cyber fixated digital aspects of a world created that everybody's in the middle of, and the way you get, and there's no way around it. They made sure it's like there's no way around it. Matter of fact, they coming up with all kinds of things that kind of like thread between the worlds. Like, you don't go nowhere in the world unless you start showing a vaccine passport. So then they're saying, like, all right, try to play. Look, this is why I said governments are responsible. None of these governments are your friend. None of them. Not one. They're gonna do what they do, and they'll tell you that human beings help make the government. You can believe all that you want. And here's another thing: just try them. Try any one of them. I've been to government serious as they said, man, we'll send your head back to where you from in a box of sardines, and we'll can you up and send you back in pieces.
Huh.
So basically, they're saying in order for you to feel your freedom, you better stay put and where you at and don't move. And nobody move, nobody get hurt. Mm-hmm. So to me, I think we've been ushered into netizenship, whether we wanted to or not. People being ushered into taking something that's going to be put in them, whether they want to or not. And they're going to be like this. You will stay put, or if you want to move around, you won't take this tracking device we're going to put you in. So make up your mind now. You make up your mind now. We're giving you the choices. You ain't got a third choice other than move on to the other realm, which means die. So I'm just saying is that, and I'm not going to even get into conspiracy theories and secret organizations. I think it's pretty blatant, but well, it's laid out there like that. And you got to also look at yourself as being, you're a different human being than the ones that already are born into this to come. So even though you said, man, I'm caught in a different set of ethics, man. The masses, they just move the M over. The masses, they move into them asses. They just move the M right over. That's the transfer, because they consider, you know what, you do what you say. You them asses. We have the power over you. So that, I think, was ushered in this year over everybody's face and said, well, damn, man, I'm a thinking person. I don't want to deal with none of this. Okay, we giving you three choices. This is the new world order. So it's nothing to be scared at if you know exactly how it's been playing out the last 50, 70 years, 100 years. I'm a person, I don't want to be a person that just be locked down to one region on the planet Earth. Mm-hmm. Then again, I'm a different person. I'm 60 years old, man. Mathematics is real, man. You in what they call you in the fourth quarter of your life. Anything after 80 is overtime. And in football, they call it sudden death. So your job is to figure out the influence and the roadmap and the GPS that you leave for younger people to try to see if they could think themselves forward as a collective, especially you black. If you black and you don't recognize nobody else around this world, you in a 2,000 by 3,000 mile hot box, man. That would never be your savior in the United States of America. That opportunities that we had to connect to the world before would have been fought with resistance. Now they're going to be fought with a steel wall. And the steel wall is in cyberspace. So we have to have more thinkers. We have to figure out how you collect with more people to get yourself out of this identifiable bag of slavery. And the slavery is real. The slavery is real, Will. The slavery is real. You got people who will volunteer their slavery to pick electronic cotton and dig digital ditches over living their life.
But isn't that what happened every time there's a crisis? It's like every time there's a crisis, they use that to take a little bit more of our freedom away from us. And they really don't take it. We actually give it to them. We grant it to them because
volunteer slavery.
We grant it to them in the name of protection.
Right.
Protect me. Okay. Here's my freedom. Now go out and protect me.
Right. To me, any person black is a serious word here, man. And you detach yourself from the diaspora of black people around the world. You inviting yourself to the United States volunteer slavery of the Western world. And I'm not knocking anybody if they decide to do that and with their personal choices. I'm not trying to encroach upon somebody's personal beliefs or whether they be in a religion, whether they want to. I'm just like saying your options, or there's a world of thinkers that can help you think of the quicksand that you in.
Mm-hmm.
Before, let's look at it this way, right? The farce is even when they came with the United Nations. What was the United Nations supposed to do? The United Nations was supposed to make the powers accountable to the places that call themselves the little nations.
Mm-hmm.
But the United Nations was run by the powers.
Right.
Then the powers, they got this thing going on. Then eventually the building was on the east side of Manhattan that nobody goes to when they go to New York, which is supposed to be the center of the world. They make the damn buildings obsolete. I was there that day when Gaddafi was speaking in the United Nations, man. And we were talking about, man, he ain't gonna last long, man, because they invited him to the United Nations, man. He talked for 2 hours, man. This is the beginning of Obama's administration, man.
But don't America eventually kill all of his friends? Like every enemy America has ever had was once their friend.
That's how governments do. Our government. I personally thought, and in the past, I said this on Tavis Smiley's show, and you need thinkers, man. I miss Tavis Smiley. You know, he got ridded out of the conversation. Whether you want to believe in people or not, you need black folks in the conversation, man, in all ranks. If they're talking some truth of freedom, they might not be the truth of freedom that you like, but you need heads, man, everybody, man. And I thought when Tavis was up, I was on Tavis. As a matter of fact, me and Griff was on Tavis's show. And I think years ago, I was on Tavis' show, and I just said, United States is too bloated to take care. It can't. It's like, you know what it is? Like in basketball speak, right? When you 7'3" and you get an ankle injury, man, it's a long time to heal, man. Your ass is a big motherfucker. Like, you know, it's going to be a long to heal. If you small, you 6'1", you slide, you know, you 180 pounds and all, you get an ankle injury, you can recover, man. The gravity is real. You 7'3". United States is like a 7'3", 355-pound giant with injuries, man, and infrastructures, man. Like bridges could fall, you know, it's big. And when the United States ain't united, man, come on, man, you got 350 million people on a whatever miscount. How you gonna take care of 350 million people and not really seriously talk about taking care of the people inside that domain? Beautiful piece of land, but then also the people in the United States ain't even used to seeing the United States. They don't know nothing about it, so it's not a united place. And when you got a united place, it's really 4 different countries all in one territory. They already talking that now. That's what Trump was talking about. He talking about, man, it was like, man, I could build my own country up in here. That's called a coup d'etat, Willie D.
Hey, break those 3-4 countries down. But what are we looking at?
I'm not an economist, and I can't really. I could break it down, man, but I don't want to put your viewers to sleep on this one, man. I'm not even going to sound like a crackpot. I'm just like, there's 4 different countries inside the United States. The coastlines they only see each other. I'll give you a case in point, Will. Can't get a license but one state. Why is that? If you got a house in California, another one in Texas, right? They're gonna tell you what's your primary residence.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get a license for Texas, can't get a license for California. You can't levy the property you might have in California with the one in Texas. They don't see each other. Yeah. You saw that movie, The Banker?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he had to go back to Tyler or Abilene or one of them towns, man. They were like, man, we don't know what you're doing in California. We ain't got nothing to do with that.
That was Tyler, yeah. I think that was Tyler.
Yeah. Like, we don't know nothing about that. So right there, but commit a crime and jet from California to Texas. And all of a sudden, the thing that is united is the Fraternal Order of Police.
Yeah.
And they gonna be like, oh, yeah, by the way, they ready to head there or I-10. They be there in about 2 days. Catch them in Odessa right after they leave damn near what's the place in New Mexico? Clovis.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna take
that's united. So I mean, I'm just saying that we have to be savvy of where we at all times, man. Be savvy of who you are and where you at. Yeah, and you know, the thing that they stripped away from us black folks, they took away our history, our language, religion, the God, and it boils out to be like, hey, you don't know geography? Because if you don't know geography, you don't know north, south, east, or west, then you don't know where you at. You don't know that you're in other places other than what you see in with your eyes or whatever, or what you have on your phone. History, you take somebody's history away, man, you can't connect. You don't see similarities.
Well, you like to travel a lot, Chuck. You like to travel a lot, man. So, you know, what are you going to do if they tell you you have to take that vaccine mandatory? Yeah, it's mandatory that you take the vaccine if you want to travel. If you want to, because you like to get out of the country.
Man, I have to get, you know, in my mind, I have to get out of the country to get my IQ rehabbed. We'll face that crossroads when we get around to it, Will. I have to say, in my advantage is that I'm 60 years old. I don't think somebody should go into a vaccine situation, if they're looking to reproduce. Because when you reproduce, you don't know what's going to be down your family line. You might have to look at yourself and say, yeah, I'm 60 years old, and where am I at my life where I have to know that if I'm going to go around to the world, then what's my purpose? I'm going to go around the world and teach, or I'm going to go around the world waste my damn time. I ain't about wasting no time nowhere. So that would be a personal decision that I have to come to that crossroads, but it ain't going to be no time soon.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, when I go to Africa, right, you best to believe I'm shot up like the goddamn Incredible Hulk before I'm going to go down to like Central Africa. They'll tell you, don't come here without getting them damn shots.
Mm-hmm.
Then the vaccine thing around how it works in the New World Order like this. It's like, we not taking you coming from the United States anyway, unless you shot up. We treating you like you from Africa.
Uh-huh. Right. They don't want that. Yeah, because it seemed like the U.S. seemed like it's got the biggest problem with these cases.
Because the rest of the world looking at the United States like, y'all bitching up. We go through this shit all the time. We have Ebola, and y'all are looking at this shit like it was a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, we think we handled it. We don't know where it came from. Now we got to deal with the World Health Organization to neutralize some shit they might have started. Mm-hmm. We can't have ignorant statements like China. You ain't been there, but you're gonna make statements about it based on shit you reading and based on shit you seeing on the internet or TV. So you're gonna make an assessment on China. You're gonna talk about people like they the government.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta watch. We have to just be watchful, man. Governments and its civilians are always kind of like in two different trajectories anyway. And when you start getting into that whole game of like, yeah, there's some people over there, they gave us the China virus, like the dumbest shit in the goddamn world I ever heard. The China, where does that start, man? Name five cities in China. Nah, just because I ain't been there, I ain't got the name 5 cities. All I know is came from over there. Over there where? Like
that fool couldn't name one city in China.
Man, China got 55 major cities, bigger than all but 3 cities in the United States. 55 of them. They got empty cities. They got a Disney World over there, right? That's empty. That they built a Disney World just on GP. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't want to generalize people and lands that they in, but they have different, every place in the world got different work initiatives, man. They got different structures that make the populations different. I mean, look, man, you in Texas, take a drive. You can take a drive to Venezuela.
Yeah.
You can drive to Venezuela.
I'm gonna pass on that, Ken.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, because cats be telling me all the time, like they tell me how tough it is in the hood. They at war. Let me tell you this much, man. Been to 116 countries, man. So when the cat be telling me about the world, I'd start giving him a test. I said, I was in Beirut. Well, I was in Beirut, and big rap community up there in the Arab states. They call them, you talk about Saudi Arabia, places where they chop your head off. You bring some cocaine up in there, send your head back, right? So you tough, you big man, fuck around, right? So anyway, I'm in Beirut, speaking at the University of Beirut. They there, Lebanon, Jordan, got Israel down there, Syria. I'm looking at a line, a line of people walking damn near bare feet, refugees, over a hill coming from Damascus, right? I talked to one of the guys who's coming. He just a refugee coming up out of Syria, right? Mm-hmm. And to give you a little geography, Syria is like Port Arthur to Houston. So that's how mm-hmm. That's the distance. They walking to get out of Syria, which is bombed, war torn. Cass is telling me like, Chuck, Cass be talking this war shit over there. Yo, man, I got two surviving kids, right? Out of 4, I lost 2. We picking through rubbles for food. You don't want no fucking war, man. It's just easy to talk that shit. Mm-hmm. I'm picking through what used to be my town and mortar shell and brick and ash and rubble to find food. We had to get the fuck up out of there, man. We walked to Beirut, to Lebanon, to be a refugee away from that, where there was this nonstop bombing from all angles. War is war ain't like I'm gonna go out there my homies and then we gonna call it after night. I'm gonna get back to the crib, get with my girl, make me a grilled cheese sandwich, and watch the Rockets play the Lakers and whatnot, and then get back out on the streets tomorrow and go at it. Now, war is like, you can't call time out to take a shit. Mm-hmm. War is like, man, I'm scrabbling, homie right here. I'm gonna pick whatever he had around him for food. I could get out of there, man. Mm-hmm. So Cass is telling me face to face, eye to eye, man. 7-mile line coming up out of Syria. Another experience, being in Ghana, but actually refugees walking across Cote d'Ivoire barefooted to be refugees in Ghana from Liberia, where 8-year-olds are running around with machine guns dancing, out of Monrovia. Because Liberia, if you study Liberia, what is Liberia? Liberia is a country set up in West Africa that really was liberated, and they sent slaves back to Africa to set up a colony over there. That's why if you go over to Liberia, that's because Liberia, we done maxed out the slave thing. We're gonna see if we can get the slave thing working back in Africa instead of the United States around 1840s, 1850s to set up and do the same thing to the rubber plants. So you have black folks coming back across the boat by United States to go up and set over there. That's why you look at the Liberian flag, it look like the United States flag. But then they had all kinds of things that happened. You had the tribes folks that were there. They got a couple of factions over there. So they going at it for years. The only way they could keep that hold on that territory, the United States got to go in and back people with guns and weapons and to keep them the ones in charge. But they the same people, but no, we're going to arm them to keep Liberia in effect. Over the years, this and that, and a situation fall, what happens is civilians, they got to get the fuck up out of Dodge. And this is like early 90s, man, walking to get out of Liberia through a country. Cote d'Ivoire, French speaking. I speak in English in Liberia, and then nobody in Ivory Coast, they don't want me to stay there because we speak English and they ain't taking refugees. So we got to walk through Ivory Coast to set up in Ghana where they'll take us. Did you
ever think that you would get stuck over there?
Nah, never thought I would get stuck anywhere. I always thought that if I knew another language, I could be in trouble. I think not knowing another language saved my ass. It's my biggest regret, but it also saves your ass because you go to places talking the wrong shit and don't know what you're talking.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that? I don't know what this part. Yeah. Come with us.
So you had a speaking interpreter, a tour guide? and that spoke for y'all?
Everywhere you go that you don't speak that language, your interpreter is the one that's talking to people. So you say things that are basic.
You gotta really trust that interpreter, because what if that interpreter say, "Yeah, these are the people that the Americans come to try to overthrow our government"?
Goddamn right. I met two. Listen, bro. I met two black presidents. I never met President Obama. I met two black presidents before him. One was assassinated. Well, they said he wasn't, but
he disappeared.
And the other one actually was deposed. He was the first black president I ever met, President Rawlings for Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Show you the fly shit why I don't get impressed ever motherfuckers with their Lamborghinis and shit like that, or gold or whatever the fuck around their necks. Well, let me tell you, man, I'm in Ghana, right? We in Ghana, Public Enemies over there for Panafest, 1992. We have a meeting with the president. The president's sitting there, whole room full of us. Then when the meeting's adjourned, right, he walks out of the meeting, shakes hand, we take pictures. He gets in the motherfucking fighter jet, Will. Himself, Dolo, fighter jet, helmet, piece, boom. Takes off and disappears in the West African sky. Yeah. I'm fucked up, Will. Wakanda, Wakanda is a Stan Lee movie, man. I seen this shit with my own everything. 1992. I'll see y'all later at the palace. Boom, fighter jet. Woo, fire coming out of that motherfucker. Wow, in the sky. I'm like, this is 1992, Will. So I'm gonna come back in the United States and motherfucker show me a goddamn car. Man.
Say, man, that's the part that they don't want us to see, man. That's the part they don't want us to see.
Well, easy to ignore and tell me I'm fucking lying.
Man, wow. Chuck, man, it's been beautiful, man. And I know I ambushed you sort of, you know, like I know this was not planned at all.
Only you could do that, bro, like that, man. It's like, you know, come on, New Year's Eve, I've got a million calls today. And I had to get off the phone. I said, oh, Will calling me. So, you know, the president is calling, man. So I got to go to the Black House and pay my salutes. But it be no other better brother than you to bring in 2021 with, man. Let me tell you, it's my honor and my privilege to know somebody like you. People throw around 100% cat, true, real. They throw around too easy, man. But in our relation throughout the years, I tell you, man, it's the utmost pleasure to know your generosity and your sincerity, your forwardness, the protection for us as brothers and our people. It's the genre, the trade, the art form, and just being able to be a role model that ain't no punk.
Right. I appreciate it, King. Hey, you know, I want to like end it the same way that we started off the ending part when I first called you.
Yes, sir.
You know, 2020 has been a tumultuous year. A lot of L's have been passed around, and you know, a lot of people that's listening to this broadcast right now, you know, have taken a hit, man. You know, have taken a hit socially, have taken a hit financially, have taken a hit spiritually, and I just wanted you to impart some words on them, you know, to help them, you get them that extra little push that they may need in the inspiration department.
Well, number one, we could concentrate on the pluses as much as possible. We know the minuses are just like out there, like swamps and all that other stuff. I think it behooves us to understand that when you get to be OG age and OG status, is that our job and our mission is to point the young energy and guide direct young energy. But you got to tell young energy that that their leadership. Yeah, I don't think there's room for old leadership nowhere, man. Nowhere in the world, old leadership is leading young people and young energy. Here they play keep away. You can never run this domain because you're too young at 31. You too young at 22. You too young at 18, 19. The reason that they too young because they not given the tools to lead. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what this old, I'm going to be old, but I'm going to hold on to this position for 20, 25, 30 years is about, man. You know,
Some of these people, I think, don't have anything but oligarchy. You know, they don't have anything else. And so they like, you know, like, I'm old and I got my power and I ain't finna get these youngsters. You know, I work too hard for my power.
See, man, the joy should be just like, you a sportsman, in boxing, you got a time period. Then that time period after that is the coach. Young boxers do their thing. Use their body, use their energy. You got to coach and say, then you'll have an enjoyable thing to look at. Here in real life, it's like, then you'll have a functional thing that I can actually live off of in the remaining days of my life. But I have to teach that, and I have to be allowed to teach. This is one thing they have not, and they probably will not just all of a sudden give to us as a people so we could teach our own. You got to take that, man. You got to fight for it. And then fight for it, it means all kinds of ways you got to fight. All kinds of ways. So, and lasting things like change is always a thinking thing, man. It's not really impulsive, but you got to have change. And it's all right for you to change your mind, because you can't change your mind. How the hell you going to change? I mean, your family, your block, your community, your town, your state. You got to be able to like change your mind or change your position or change your fighting stance up. All of a sudden it's coming from the left. You're gonna have to figure out a way to counter those, because the blows is coming at black folk all the time. It's not a time nowhere in our visual existence that blows ain't been coming at us just because of who we are and what we are. Blows is coming at us. You as a boxer would know. Blows is coming at you. You have to go to the corner and say, first of all, I'm not gonna get hit like that, and I gotta counter this. Countering is the thing we always got to figure, and you have brilliant people out there. They just not in the corner. They're not in the fight corner, Will.
Right. That's a good point.
Build the fight corner up. So I mean, I think what Young Energy did this year, and it took, unfortunately, it took Steven Jackson and his homeboy from after that, George Floyd. Yeah. And Steven Jackson had reverence. He had the spotlight on him all the time. They always look at him. It's like, here's his problem child and all that. So they always trying to play games with Steven Jackson. And Steven Jackson was the one that said, listen, man, this ain't no glory thing. I ain't trying to I always got cameras on me. This ain't cool. This ain't funny. And the minute that this happened to y'all, then all of a sudden gonna be serious. He put that out there. He said, man, this is serious with me. This ain't no game, man. Everybody felt that energy. Young people went on. That was the last straw, man. They was like, yo, man, this is every time it's a black person murdered or killed, all y'all do is put the name on the page to keep turning the pages. They were like, then you gonna tell us to stay inside? It was called, that's what they call a tipping point. That was the tipping point. Tipping point. But listen, man, watch Willie D. Watch Willie D, and he will always give you insight, even if you can't handle the insight. You take it, you hold on to it. You might have to put water on it, make the tablet go and take sips. You know what I'm saying? Take sips. Don't try to take that whole big joint, put it in and drink it right away. Take sips. Then you're gonna be all right, because they would give you the direction to use that energy to each one teach one. Right. That's what.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck D, this is one of the icons of hip hop, but even better, just a great man, a great friend, a great father, husband, brother, son, you name it. This my dude right here, man. So I want to thank you once again, man, for joining us, man, and imparting that wisdom on the audience, man. It's totally invaluable, and I can't thank you enough, man. Have a happy new year.
Yeah, man. We'll touch with rendezvous. If it's something that I don't know, me well, I'll be like, I don't know. But the thing about it, this is why it takes a nation. Yeah. Because what I might not know, you might know. What you might not know, that person knows. You know what I'm saying? And that person might not be equipped, but that person is equipped. That's what takes a nation. And we a nation inside a nation. that cannot tell the rest of the nations out there that we not a part of them too. You know, one thing to say, okay, yeah, we got a badge on us, but you know, it's not a tattoo, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a badge that happened. This is your residency, where you at in the world doesn't mean that you are displaced all the time. We are the world, man. That song, "We Are the World," is the black person's song, man. We are the world. Now all these other governments in there trying to keep you from saying that. Nah, y'all ain't the world. Y'all a citizen of where we want y'all to be. The minute we get widened out like that, and that don't mean that you have to go to the world. That means that you connected to somebody in the world. You got a damn cell phone. You can see each other on FaceTime.
Excellent point.
Yes, sir.
My man, the family.
Yes,
y'all enjoy the rest of your night, your morning, wherever you are in the world. Again, Happy New Year. I hope you and wish you nothing but peace, prosperity. This is your year. Claim it. Do your thing. I want to recognize Man and Machine. Also, I want to recognize who is this Man and Machine again. I appreciate you, man. Until next time, fam. No more talk. Chuck D in the building.
Willie D.